Hey, TCL people, welcome to Week 7, Game 3, final game of the week. We've got a really banger matchup with two teams whose names I definitely didn't look up before we went live, but that's okay. It's IREP's team, and it's, oh, come on. Snakerdoodles? I don't know. Bush named his team poorly, and IREP named
It's
his team.
BMS versus Team Snick.
Woohoo! Yeah, it should be really fun. Honestly, I'm pretty excited for it. Rounding out what's been a pretty awesome week 1 here with Rudy. Rudy, how you doing, man?
Dude, I am doing phenomenal. Coming off of my own victory last night, got the day of work behind me. It's practically Wednesday, means the week's almost over, and we got another round of TCL content tonight. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, not really too much more to ask for indeed. Honestly, banger series so far. Cop to it. I didn't watch last night's series, but I heard it was really fun. My series was allegedly fun to watch, so that's pretty cool. I'm glad someone enjoyed it. And
watching the Briar game was very entertaining.
Dude, the only problem with getting Briar is afterwards you have to not play Briar, and that's like the come down from the biggest high of your life. I love that champ.
Don't worry, I think it's gonna be banned a lot this season. I expect to see that as the TCL meta, as it were, develops over the course of the next couple weeks.
I hope people figure it out, and I'm honestly looking forward. Speaking of like figuring stuff out, I think we got some really interesting teams to figure out because I mean, on paper, one team here, maniacs, right? You got no idea what's coming.
Absolute crackheads, yeah.
Focusing on that bot lane, right? Speedy and IREP finally united. You really never know what they're gonna play.
That's a first-round draft pick right there. IREP said, "There's no way I don't get my boy on my team here." And honestly, like Speedy's a champion. He has the pedigree to show for it. He earned himself that pick beyond just his friendship with IREP.
Yes, no, Speedy's a beast. IREP actually talked to me like a decent amount as we get into pick ban here.
Speedy carried me to a championship.
Yeah, IREP talked to me a decent amount about what his draft plan was, and like, I was like, bro, you want Speedy? You should take Speedy. I think anyone that knows, like, or has played a little bit with Speedy knows that dude's cracked. Like, very good player. And I think the added, someone hopefully can keep them, within the bounds of not trolling.
Of reality? That's the thing, though. Who on that team is going to tell them no?
Who on that team is going to tell them no? Hopefully someone, but we will find out. Pick ban here. So far, I think pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you're banning the mains. LeBlanc from Control and Leona from Bush League. Got a few players across the board who haven't played in a while, mostly on the side of Team Snick. Luciv coming off of his retirement, Bush League, old washed man nowadays, and Calbert, first time we're seeing him in the jungle on the TCL stage.
Yeah, definitely gonna be interested to see what he plays. I watched some of their practice. I saw him playing things like Xin Zhao, and I've seen him obviously play like the TCL tanks like Sejuani and stuff like that. So we'll be interested to see in what style he goes. One thing I want to kind of call out is the Scion ban at music. That's kind of interesting.
It's not just at music. That's a flex for them. You got IREP.
Really?
Remember?
Oh
yeah. IREP would love to play Scion support.
You're right.
I think he goes Scion AD, but they would do like Senna Scion.
I can see that, honestly.
With the recent rule changes, as long as you're not like egregiously, repetitively abusing the support items, like you're good to have some fun down there, which I'm on board with.
Hell yeah. I think it's way more fun when everyone's having fun, except the bot lane laning into whatever garbage is coming at them.
Dude,
with a mess
no
of
joke.
support item.
So Ezreal locked in first pick. Historically, Luciv has looked pretty good on that champion. He's had his pop-off moments. Not quite as good as my boy Toasty, because, first ever pentakill in TCL was on Ezreal by Toasty. Shout out my team. But no, I mean, Ezreal is an old comfort pick for Luciv, so expect to see him do decent things. And Caitlyn, the lane bully, picked right across by Speedy.
Yeah, I like this pick from Speedy. I think the last 2 seasons we've seen Speedy and Lemon, and Caitlyn Morgana kind of became a really powerful pairing for them, but I think just broadly, Caitlyn's really good in this current meta. Paired with Renata is pretty awesome. And should just be able to straight up push Ezra around and escort a scaling pick like Renata into the mid game where she can really be pretty effective grouping up.
Yeah.
Honestly, really love this so far as an answer.
I mean, yeah, we saw how good Renata could be when Lemon played him earlier this week in the opener on your team. Yeah, that was the one you guys won. Dude, Lemon crushed it. That was insane.
He's a smurfer.
Honestly, this is the most meta bot lane I've ever seen IREP and Speedy play together.
Yeah, true. They're coming out a little bit cold, maybe disappointing some of their fans.
I mean, coming out to win.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they're trying something different because everybody makes playoffs.
Yeah, you know,
this is off meta for them.
Gotta be in the back of your head, right? If everyone makes playoffs, you control every game, right? No, but I think one thing that's interesting here is maybe Renata calling the bluff, saying like, will Bush League play something that's not just like an engage tank, and he is pulling out the Karma. Pretty rare from him. It is one pick he picked up on the legendary team mantra because that was kind of their namesake, and they wanted everyone to play it so they could flex it around. But it will be interesting to see. Obviously, Ezreal Karma, very strong lane, really puts a lot of power behind the pick rather than making it just more of a scaling, like, let's get Ezreal into the mid game. And a Mumu locked in here should for sure be jungle.
I mean, you have to imagine, unless they're doing some really wacky Renata top type stuff and going to Mumu support. But no, that's going to be a Mumu for Rick. Honestly, so these were the last two junglers picked in the draft, were Rick and Cal. And I mean, both great guys, great League of Legends players, historic, like iconic TCL members.
Are you going to flame them?
No, not at all. I'm just really interested to see how they do. I think this is a good matchup for each other because I don't expect either of them to be exceptionally punishing,
Yeah.
Which gives them like some time and space to figure out how to play in the 5v5 environment from the jungle. Because I mean, you've played like 4 different roles now during TCL.
Yeah.
You know how different it is bouncing in between them.
Man, doing jungle the first time was a real shock. Like, it's so different playing jungle when all your laners are in comms with you. So like, if you play in solo queue, you can just mute someone that's being annoying or ping the gank. Right? Like,
I mean, you can do that in Discord too. It's just not good for the
begging
mental.
you for a gank in Discord. Man, it's hard to say no, and you got to really learn to do that. I think that's a really big shift, and it'll be interesting to see how both these players do. I think one thing that's interesting is we haven't seen Blood pick. I think it's pretty rare that Blood holds his pick this late.
I mean, Blood loves counterpick, but he's not going to get it here.
He's not going to get it, and usually doesn't like to expose himself to this many bans. But you've seen Aatrox and Mordekaiser taken away, as we see the Nico come through here.
Okay.
Full control, maybe learning a little thing from mid. Obviously, one of his signature picks. But one thing I want to highlight before he maybe picks it, Blood's been playing a lot of Udyr top. I watched him play it quite a few times, maybe just thinking like there's no way they ban this and I can eat some bans and get it anyway. So
I've also seen him play it and I was very confused at how it ran so fast and did so much damage and wouldn't die.
Udyr's one hell of a drug, man. That champion is wild to play against and wild to play.
Udyr or Briar though, who's your preference?
Oh, definitely Briar. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That champion's so fun. That is
You're
like
in
Warwick.
love, bully. You sound like a man in love.
Warwick on meth. That's Briar, man. That champion is cracked out. So fun.
Warwick on meth with a haircut.
It's wild. You can't have more fun. I'm never not laughing on that champion. That champion is wild. But
well, hey, glad to see you, man. Wukong locked in. Doesn't want to pull out the Udyr yet. I mean, in terms of team fight, I feel like they needed the Wukong there. Like, now they have something that can go in. No traditional tanks on their side, whereas that Amumu will be tanky. But the engage and the pick potential from the side of Team Snek, sorry, they're the 4-letter team.
Yeah, really push for that
right?
too.
I mean, like, Nocturne can just go.
Yeah, I think Nocturne and Wukong are going to have to be a little careful in how they fight. It's pretty easy to fight too far ahead from this team, right? Like Syndra, Ezreal, Karma, not exactly the most mobile champs in the world, so got to be careful. Sometimes, as someone who plays a decent amount of champs like Nocturne, like, you can pull yourself a little bit too far forward and be like, where the heck's my team?
No,
like,
dude, I get that.
Guys,
the other day.
Flash 10 times to get with you.
Yeah, the other day I was like playing Rakan and I was like, Shirelia's alt, flash, W. Wait, where's my team? How is nobody here with me right now? It happens. It happens to the best of us and the worst of us.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think, all in all, kind of teetering towards this right side draft. One thing we didn't really talk about
is the Renekton pick for music.
Yeah,
I decided to get off tank duty.
Well, I've seen him play. He actually climbed pretty hard in between TCL seasons, whereas I think some people, himself
What's he
included,
ranked right now?
I think he's like Emerald 3 maybe. Like he's
wow.
gotten pretty well up there. And yeah, I actually duoed with him 1 or 2 games, and he played this Renekton. He's a solid player on it. Like he's one thing that impressed me is one game went kind of rough for him, and he turned it off. Like he just instantly said, "I'm done." Played for the team, set me up when I ganked him, and like did what he had to do. So I think it goes a long way to trust someone on a carry when you know that if the game goes wrong, they can just cut the power and just play to scale.
I will take your word for it and have faith in our boy Music. until the first time he W's a Wukong clone, and then I'm gonna flame him very hard.
Hey, that happens. You know, sometimes the Wukong clone tricks you, and if you know, Blood likes to just stand still. Sometimes
Yeah, you got S key. You got S key.
Yeah, Blood likes to
Call
stand
his
still
bluff.
and pretend that. Yeah. You gotta just go all in. Trust that one time he's trolling you, and that somewhere he's really tilted because he got. But
Okay, so you are on the red side draft. Honestly,
I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with blue. I think Nocturne's just such a powerful pick, and
True.
despite like the potential wombo, I mean, look at the zone control that the side of BMS has, like between the Amumu ult, the Nico ult, the Renata ult, and the Caitlyn traps. Like they have so much ability to lock down that jungle. But I think the pick potential from the other side is gonna be what really comes through. We have our bets in, but if you are curious to get in on the action yourself, you can bet your channel points, you know, get that fake internet money a-flowing in the Discord right now.
I have channel points. I don't know how I do, but I'm gonna like.
You get them from having the stream open, that's how.
Woohoo! I just
Gotta have it open.
On red side team, so I've.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, they inverted it. Wait, I'm 4,000.
Wait, who am I voting for? Okay, then just
Wait.
even it out. I'll put 4,000 on BMS, so our votes count.
Actually, I read Spirit's message saying it was inverted, and then didn't recognize what he meant, and then it bet the wrong way. That's okay.
Hey. Okay, Mr. Production is saying that he's never once intentionally done it in order, which means every single time in the past he's just gotten lucky. And with that, shout out, thank you, Mr. Production. Thank you, Mr. Abarn, for being on production tonight, stepping up at the last second to cover. We appreciate you, Commissioner. Okay, Bully.
Yeah.
What is going to happen? The only question I have are any of these teams going to stop being babies and invade?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. The people who hate invades, ever since I started playing jungle,
Blood will not invade.
Invades. Yeah, and Blood's not gonna do it because there's just so much that can go wrong. And as a jungler, you just like to have your flow, right? There's some champions. I think it's a super underdeveloped part of the game, like early invades, level 1 invades on certain champs. I think you can really break games open if you practice that, but. You know, I think you really do have to practice that and pick for it, and I don't think either of these teams have. And yeah, it's like you said, Blood would actually rather, like,
he'd rather like turn off his monitor.
Than invade. The amount of times last season when I'm playing like Thresh and stuff, and I'm like, Blood, can we please just like one time? If I hit the hook, we win the game. And he's like, nope, can't do it, man. 5 point. It's like, all right, fine.
Yeah, so, I mean that's true, but IREP I think is all about the invade. I don't know if this is the comp
he's a bit of a maniac
for it. But he could be down. Let's see. Pings. I see a bunch of mid lane pings. Maybe they'll swing through that brush. I don't know. I want to see some action, you know?
Heck yeah. And for that
Look at all those bot pings. They're oh, do you think they were listening? I forgot they could be listening to me.
No, they're not supposed to do that.
Oh yeah, never mind. We got a 3-minute stream delay. They're not listening to me. Damn it. That means I can't take credit when this works.
There's no way stream is delayed 3 minutes.
I literally said it at the end of our stream delay. Yeah, that's... We talked for 3 minutes about it. Okay, they definitely messed up that invade, but it's okay. I like the effort. That means the only successful invade this season in TCL was my team's when we forced flash.
Production, can you click on a Mumu or like hover a Mumu? I want to see what he started. Did he actually skill anything? No, he
hasn't leveled anything yet.
He's waiting to see
which
if
is correct.
Skills the bandage toss. Yeah,
that's
actually
correct.
Good. I think a lot of like players would have reach to just skill the bandage toss.
Yep.
They don't trust themselves. Hand to God, I do that sometimes. Don't trust myself
to
react that fast. So
absolutely.
You know, credit to Rick for trusting himself and not skilling that. Definitely going to feel much better on his clear not having his Q level 1.
Yeah, that's not what you take 1 or 2.
And honestly, they got a lot of really good deep vision. I don't like the response ward that was dropped by Snakerdoodles or Snakerdoodles. They dropped it a little bit too deep, and I think by the time it spots anything, if a Mumu is full clearing, first off, it tells you almost nothing, because if a Mumu is full clearing, like, that's probably your base case, what you expect, and like, it's gonna spot him doing his Raptors anyway. He's gonna walk out, like, it's probably gonna expire before it can pass on anything meaningful. So, not a huge fan of that in reply, but still, like, good deep vision. They know where Nocturne's pathing, should just be mirrored clears on both sides, and yeah, you can see already in this top lane, man, Music pushing it out and getting a little bit of domination here at the start.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this mid lane matchup too. Sandy had a lot to say last night about I'll take mid's Syndra, and It looks like Control is getting some revenge for his boy.
Yeah, Control's getting in on Sandy.
To be fair, he said a lot of good things about mid Syndra, but he insulted me, so I took it personally for the sake of my team.
So he was naturally trash talking mid the whole time.
Of course, yeah.
No,
you get it. You get what I'm saying. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm
Calvert on the early level 3 though.
Calvert. You know, I don't hate this. I think there's an underappreciated component of just like, especially when you're on something like Nico, trying to get an early flash. You know, it costs him almost nothing in terms of clear speed, and if you can get that, if you can, well, yes, but a champion like Nico, you're.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you can, no, you're good. If you can get that flash, like, especially for Syndra too, you can set up kills very easily. That like you don't even have to come back necessarily and gank. Like, just getting the flash is enough sometimes, and you can see already, man. You know,
Sandy's hitting that early poke. He's getting those
Syndra.
shards, as was talked about last night. Every champion in this game now scales off of shards or whatever.
I don't know what kind of fun tickets or coupons you trade in with Syndra, but I just know when you get the maximum of them, you hit the skee ball jackpot. That champion is broken. That champion is crazy, and I don't like to play against it. So
yeah, Watch found that out last night when I got mid shot under the mid tier 3 turret with Hex Drinker and GA.
Yeah, man, I was playing with Jet the other day, and he was an 08 Syndra, just like Thanos snapped him out of existence. And he was just like, man, what do I have to do? This champ is 0 and 8. And just one-shots me. Syndra, one hell of a beast right now.
J Jazz coming down to make sure Rick gets the pull, and they're looking to fight.
Could be in some trouble.
Blood baiting, and Syndra's coming up.
Yeah, I don't think there's an angle here, and yeah, they can just walk out. Not enough CC between the top side to really make that play work. Really needed Sandy to be there on time, or like earlier. You know, not saying he was necessarily late, but earlier to set anything up there. Otherwise, they can just walk out. Top scut there for Microscopic Rick, and let's see if Calvert can maybe make a gank happen here on the top side.
Yeah, definitely hanging out. I mean, Blood down like a full wave at this point, especially with the minions that are still on the map, but hasn't died yet. And as we talked about, that
here comes Calvert on the gank. Blood's gonna step up, but again, just no CC. Can't make it happen. Is just gonna help Blood push out this wave. Don't think this is super additive, but maybe stop.
Nah, just trying to let it crash.
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably could get his crash in no matter what from this spot, but
I mean, there's a chance Renekton kills you.
True. Maybe just, you know, playing it cautious. Can't hate that, especially in game 1. You know, an early death can sometimes set the stage for the rest of your night in terms of team mental and stuff like that.
Yeah, we all know Blood's got a really weak mental.
Oh, yeah, Blood, just garbage, trash mental.
Rick looking for his first gank, but Pink's on his way in, finds a ward. Luciv should know where they are. Getting our first look at the bot lane right now. I don't know what's up with CS. Looks like Cole started from the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn doing Caitlyn things, right? Being a bit of a lane bully. And this brings me to my first complaint of the night. Last night, Toasty and I picked Nautilus Ezreal, and Sandy made fun of it as a lane. And then that exact same thing was picked in some of the world play-in games today. So, Sandy, obviously, I know more about this game than you. Good luck.
So are you only casting tonight just to make fun of Sandy? Oh, hold on. We have an ult here from the Nico. Control going for play. Almost called them all take mid. Just doesn't quite have the damage to kill Sandy. Honestly, not even really close there, but is able to just get prio off of this. Shove in the wave and push the Syndra around. Wave's kind of in an awkward spot, though. Not going to completely crash.
I'm not here only to make fun of Sandy, but I'm a man of opportunity.
Oh, look at this, though. Control using that pressure, stole a couple Raptors away. Might have gotten the big one, too. So, no, that's honestly one of the worst feelings in the world as a jungler. Like, when the mid can push out and get prio like that and just ward your Raptors, it feels like you're just like, okay, well, for 2 minutes, they're going to know where I'm at, and I can't really gank. So, that feels pretty awful. But, you know, well done by Control. You know, looked a little questionable.
Music setting up a freeze here. Gonna keep Blood exposed, and Amumu's on the top side. Blood doesn't look like he's taking the bat. He still has his TP, so probably just gonna back, spend. He does see Amumu on the ward, though. Not scared of it at the moment.
No, not scared at all. I don't think this Renekton is killed. I'm gonna be honest. I think as soon as Renekton pops ult, it's pretty damn near impossible for Amumu and or for anyone to kill him. But that was Renekton's jungler. What am I talking about? You know, I'm waking up still. Blood, honestly,
I mean, Music's doing great right now.
Yeah,
Dude's
I was
up 31 or 21 CS.
Look at that. Music really putting it in. I think this is a great matchup for him, and he's obviously worked on the pick, and you can see, like, just getting a massive CS lead over Blood off the rip. Part of that, I think, because Nocturne helped him bounce the wave, but you can see Nocturne spent so much time doing that. Double scuttle for the Amumu. Amumu got a ton of CS and got really far ahead in this game. So top and jungle, pretty advantage for the side of whatever team that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, right? First of all, I like how as casters we're focusing on what people are doing positively and not what people are doing in the negative. But Sandy's going in on Rick right now.
Yeah,
just gonna get a bit of poke, force him off. How? I mean, there's 4 here, but nothing much is gonna happen. Nobody's gonna commit. Not a lot of hard CC from their side, without the Wukong there.
Yeah, want to see them start a Drake here, maybe? Getting the Scuttle Crab, though, can't go down 3 of those. Like, that does really start to become a stacking XP lead for the enemy jungle, so good on him to have his team as we have an ult coming in here. Fail flash from the Nico, but is going to respond immediately with ult. Spell Shield is the knockup for Calbert, and first blood there by Sandy. Really well played gank there by all parties involved, just to utilize that first Nocturne ult, come through and shut down Control.
Yeah, I mean, rough look at a Control, failing the flash over the wall. He would have been safe and not given up first blood.
Almost for sure, yeah.
But, I mean, well done by Calbert, and that's what it was. I was confused before you called it out. I was like, what broke the spell shield there? It's the knock-up and then the root now, because they added that.
Which I think was a better way to play it. Yeah, it's better to play it, though. Like, the knock-up is really the egregious part.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to spell shield during the knock-up, right?
No, I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so all you can spell shield is the knock-up.
Right.
Or else you get hit by both. But yeah, no, well played. Well played by Calbert.
Yeah.
And they needed that, honestly. They were just falling behind in every lane.
Yeah, it's a huge... You know, you just gotta... Almost all the CC in this comp is on Sandy. Sandy needs to be in a spot where he can walk forward and create damage. Just hold on, we have a lot of poke coming into Elusive. Oh my goodness, Elusive probably has to back off that. This is gonna feel really bad. Not a great spot to back at all. See if he tries to... I
think he can stay. He popped the pot. The other 2 are both out of mana. Oh, and he got the ult up, so Speedy is equally low right now. Dude, I'd love to see something out of Bush, but no, they're just gonna catch their wave. Totally get it. They don't know where the junglers are right now. Gotta play smart.
Yeah, you gotta do that. I think if they go in forward, they're kind of maniacs. Renata has ult and exhaust. Oh, she was kind of low.
It's okay. Elusive has cleanse. They were both very low on mana. I don't know if they had enough for all.
Elusive ran cleanse here, by the way.
He did. I know. I saw that earlier. I'm okay with that. I mean, the only way you die here is if you get stuck in like the Nico or the Amumu ult.
I guess.
Like, if you can make enough space, you should be able to just pepper this team.
Oh, 100%. I just think if you're playing Ezreal and you're that nervous about playing...
That's a good point. You're calling Luciv
Hey, I'm not calling that word. I don't think we can, but I'm not calling Luciv anything. I don't want any more drama. I got my fill for the week. Luciv,
I don't believe you. Ooh, Rick looking for a little sneaky lane gank here.
Yeah, can he find it? Don't think he spotted out, but Calbert is here in response. Ult comes down by the Wukong, but he is just getting blown up by Music. Flash out of Rick, traded with the flash out of Blood. And all in all, Music just able to build his lead even more. Blood probably going to have to back off of this wave entirely. Does have the teleport. Would expect to see that come down. Let's see what the rest of the team has in response. So Sandy has walked up, and there's the Paranoia coming down onto the Renekton. Renekton does not have his ultimate, and this should mean an easy kill for Calbert. Another one going down. Calbert and Sandy working in lockstep here tonight to really advance their team.
Great patience by Calbert. Really wanted to help on the initial play when it turned into the 2-man onto Blood, but was able to hold his ult. I mean, maybe it just came off cooldown. I wasn't actually looking. Had enough to just finish him himself. And with Sandy, of course, with Sandy's stun over the wall, which helped quite a bit. Yeah,
really well played by them all. And Herald coming down here on the top side is we are going to see a teleport actually come out of Music. Let's see if they want to contest this. That is the Curse of the Said Mummy down on Bloodbath Beyond. He's really in trouble here. Remember, blew his flash on the last play. He is low. If this engage plays out, he should be dead, and it is going to be a kill over to Microscopic Rick, who is now terrified from Calbert. Will he go down? He does. Calbert trades one back. Music
does have flash.
About to have that stun. Goes over the wall preemptively. Oh my...
that was almost so sick from Calbert. If he could have just... Yes.
He got the kill. You know what? We'll credit Music with the kill. Great job.
Music was going for the predict. But if Calbert could have flashed away there and just walked it out with his, W move speed from the slime trail or whatever, that would have been just like the most entertaining thing I'd seen.
If he flashes the opposite direction, I think we're falling out of our chairs, like popping off for Calbert right now.
My God.
You know? Music got the kill. Maybe that's the problem, honestly.
That was almost the sickest bait I've seen this week.
sometimes you just become a little too smart for your own good, and you start thinking about things like predictions and where they could go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to beat them up. You're playing
Yeah,
Renekton.
that's what he gets for
face,
practicing
man.
that much, you know?
Yeah, what the heck? Just go auto the person in front of you. You'll get it done.
I will say that the flash wasn't good because he immediately E'd back over the wall. Like, he had his E. He could have just E'd and then flashed back. IREP is getting wrecked here. Does Luciv have ult? Luciv does have ult. A little bit more poke and it's going to look rough. Yeah.
Just misses.
He's not Toasty. Toasty would have hit those.
Yeah. Dude,
Toasty did hit those last night. Oh, but Sandy is well out of position here.
Yeah, as the Renata ult comes down over the top, Control is going to pick off Sandy Snake. Will someone turn and stop Calvert? They are instead going to just kill Bush League with that Caitlyn ult. Calvert finishes the Drake here, and Blood has roamed all the way down with the Cyclone, is able to already pick off Speedy Bandito. IREP is completely out of mana. The Nika ult is going to try to turn things around, and they kill Calvert off, and there goes Blood. Control is going to try to chase down Luciv here. Luciv flashes away from the root and is going to try to kite out with Qs. Should be the end of this engage. All in all, a 3-for-2 favoring the side of BMS.
BMS comes out ahead on kills, but
Drake
Snek did manage to secure the Drake at the same time, though. It was a 4v5. And this entire time, Renekton just hitting that turret in the top lane.
Yeah, that's a huge, honestly, really
so much
favor
golden
that
flux
for BMS. Yeah, it sucks you lose the Drake, but if you're thinking about that play objectively, like, they could have gotten that Drake. So if you're looking at the play from the outside, hasn't already happened. Could have gotten the Drake, are for sure getting gold in the top side.
Yeah.
You always take that. Sucks you didn't get the Drake, but even still, they're coming out way ahead.
Yeah, they get first tower, and now, looking at it, 14 minutes in, they're up 3,500, or a little over 3,000 gold.
Yeah. I mean, huge lead for them. Definitely not insurmountable by any means, but gotta shout him out. Huge credit to Music. We made fun of his like Velma Dinkley pathing for that last kill on the Nocturne, but really played this game so darn well. As we can see, Calvert on the flip side trying to have even greater impact
no ult yet
on the Nocturne. Yeah, no ult is gonna have to just walk it down. Can IREP and Speedy outplay? They've chunked out Luciv and Bush League pretty considerably. The fear is gonna come down onto Speedy. Speedy is not able to get the W out of IREP, which means he is not bailed out. IREP trying to live as long as he can, doesn't W himself either. Control.
Great ult from Luciv there to...
From down.
No, I'm just doing a terrible ult. But Control
finding a kill on the rebound.
just picks Cal off in the end. I'm sure Cal's just shaking his head at that one.
Has to be careful. Probably thinks he's a little bit safer up from River because Nocturne is dead, but Blood's actually moved all the way down here and is trying to sort of corner him off, but Control is just going to kind of walk into this bot lane, clean up some farm, play the lane safe. Makes a lot of sense, and Blood just catches the mid lane in response. You know, great job by Calvert forcing a winning fight. And
yeah, he got some kills onto Luciv. You needed those.
Yeah, and well done by Control on the flip side to walk down and trade.
Because in that dragon fight, like, Luciv was hitting Qs the entire time. He just wasn't doing any damage with them yet.
Yeah,
I don't think he had his Triforce finish. But now he does, and with those kills as well, that's really going to help him get to the point where those Qs do quite a bit more, especially to people like Rick, who he was tickling in the previous fight. They were on Rift Herald on the top side, though, it looks like.
Yeah.
Or did they already take it? Am I blind?
Yeah, they've got it. But going over to Rick, I mean, I think they should be able to use this Rift Herald pretty well to smash open turrets. Want to see them group up with the Caitlyn. Hold on, we have a scatter the week onto Speedy. He is going to be reviving, but can't come back, and both bot laners dead. Speedy and IREP a double kill to Bloodbath and Beyond.
Great engage, and that's what I was talking about when I was looking at this team. It's the pick potential, right? I mean, out of nowhere, it turned from just Syndra in the lane to Syndra Wukong with a Nocturne flying in.
Yeah.
IREP tried his best with the bailout, but there's really no bailing you out of that situation.
Yeah, by the way, out of nowhere, Blood 3-2 with a bounty. So coming back into this game, you know, maybe didn't have the best laning phase. Don't think it's expected. Wukong into Renekton and found his way back into the game through a different way, roaming around and doing exactly what you're saying, creating those fights with the Nocturne. Got to shout out Calvert too.
Playing great
really
ults.
well.
Great ults. I think every ult has resulted in a kill so far.
And they're coming frequently, right? Like, he's not waiting on the ult for 2 minutes or whatever. You got to really make these plays happen. As we see a Rift Herald coming down.
Must have been timing out,
lane.
right? Must have been timing out for him to drop it there.
It has to be close. I hope we'll give him that. Yeah.
There's no way it
really
wasn't
hope
timing out.
so.
Rick's a better player than that. I got faith in him.
It was a pretty quick drop, it felt like, but, you know, it could be timing out, and Control's here, and I think getting gold on him, no matter what, is going to make a lot of sense. I think the gold...
Plates are down, and Cal's having a hard time holding mid solo at the moment. Wukong is walking into the lane. Turret doesn't fall. They defend with 3. but are losing a bit of pressure in farm mid. That's getting soaked by the turret.
I'm not a big fan of how much Blood is roaming now. Did just praise him for a sec there, but I think I would really like to see him, now that you've gotten yourself back into the game, go take your lead and fight this Renekton. Like, you can probably push him around a little bit here and there. I don't think you necessarily win, but you don't have to run from your lane anymore. Like, just get some farm, get back into the game. We do have a Drake coming up, which is going to be, I think, a pretty key breakpoint. 20 seconds on that. Both sides a little bit slow to reset and are probably going to jockey pretty heavily for this mid-lane pressure. We can see an engage coming down here by Bloodbath and Beyond onto IREP. IREP chunked out completely, but will he find the bailout onto himself? Redemption heal actually coming down to save him. Blood flash ults with the second tick. IREP is ticking down in that bailout, not able to find it, and Sandy Snake on the flip side has been chunked out. So 1 kill going over to Snakerdoodles, but maybe control over the river is actually going to go to BMS.
Yeah, I mean, Sandy did the classic, like, you stopwatch when you get jumped, but stopwatch in front of a Caitlyn is always a tough...
Yeah, we have the Nocturnal comes over the top directly onto Caitlyn. Remember, there is no Renata, there is no bailout, but he's able to flash out and kill Calvert, maybe gone too far. Blood, now you're caught out, is picking very low. Flash shut down here from Music X. Flash out of Luciv is actually able to finish off Speedy on the backside, and Control is now chasing with the remaining 3 members of his team. It is 3-on-3. IREP respawning, coming from base. Control trying to chase down the remaining members of Snakerdoodles, not able to do it, but they are able to just walk back to this river, get control of the Drake. Luciv is coming off a reset, maybe going to try to poke some people around, but I don't think there's an angle. They are going to step up to contest here, though. Sandy got to be very careful here. Control sending the clone there just to sort of body block and maybe play a little bit of threat. Is able to hit a big root onto Bush League, doing a ton of damage there. Teleport here coming out of Bloodbath and Beyond from base. Let's see if they try to chase this with a fight. No, just going to give up, and that is the second Drake, Infernal Drake, going over to BMS.
Honestly, that was so well played by Speedy, which is normally an odd thing to say for the one who died during that fight, but they committed extremely... Oh, Rick's fine. Maybe not?
Oh, Rick picking very low here with the Ignite down onto him. Is able to walk out, but Rick, please walk out. Bush actually got pretty low from some turret shots.
Okay, gonna get my analysis now. Yeah, Speedy played that really well. The Nocturne ulted in. He trapped, flashed away from the fear, and was able to get like 3 different headshots off in that fight before Luciv eat over the wall, flashed on him, got his W, and then, like, not flaming my boy Luciv here, but Speedy had some fancy feet. It took Luciv a long time to finish him off, which just kept him out of the fight and was able to let his team rout them in the bot lane.
I got one other thing I want to highlight on Speedy. This is actually the Gumayushi build he's doing. It's pretty popular on Korean server now. Like, it's picking up among a lot of the pro players. This IE first build seems a little troll. Basically, ever since IE's been turned into a mythic, the conventional thought was like, you make yourself a turn-based champion. If you build IE first, you get no attack speed. It's very weird, but a lot of people now just opting for big crits, and with the attack speed boots, the thought is kind of you just get enough attack speed that way. So I think it really helped. Nocturne dove in, and you saw, drops the trap, flashes away, and immediately pops that Nocturne. So huge damage coming out of him, and a really smart build path.
Yeah, it was well played. It was well played. As you said, though, that is 1 dragon each side. Gold lead still in the favor of BMS. Gosh, every time I say BMS, it's hilarious. I've never cast a BMS game before because I was on that team.
Yeah. You think back to that a lot, or you just try
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been on. There's nothing to think back on. I've blocked that season out of my memory.
Can I just say, since I didn't, the most legendary moment was you guys in an elimination game from playoffs locking in Nasus mid. I mean, that was legendary.
Didn't we win that game?
There's guts. You did not, but you gave it a really good shot. His hold on control was that minion the whole time. Pick your onto Bush League. I love Nico, man.
Yeah, classic joke. Bush League, the accountant, can't count. Is Bush League gonna count? He works in finance in some way.
He's an actuary. It's math,
He works. He works with numbers. Can't count.
He's gonna get so mad.
Fire this man.
Back and here's you call him an accountant. He's gonna get furious. But I mean, he counts more beans than I do. I promise you that. But we're walking down mid here. Music is gonna push around Blood a little bit. I think with 3 men squatted up here, would like to see them push down mid, and that's kind of the exact thought process it seems from BMS. Luciv trying to clear with the ult.
Luciv get 3 kills. Oh yeah, those gank spot from Calvert. Yeah, right.
Just got stupid.
We're just taking a second look at some scorelines, right? As we see some breakpoints coming through. 2 items getting completed a lot of different places. Despite those 3 kills, Speedy has more deaths. Still up in gold on his lane opponent. Being down kills and farm. Must have been all the plate gold, I guess. I don't know how this game works anymore.
Plate gold and a coal buy, I think, were really the two biggest parts. And
coal gives you like an extra 100 gold?
It's like a kill's worth of gold, basically, because you got to factor in you sell it afterwards, too.
Yeah, but it's only worth like 87 when you sell it. Okay, so it's 187 gold.
No, I promise you, coal is... So you get 100...
You get one per kill,
and then
so
you
it's
get
100 for the stacks.
You get a payout when you finish it.
That doesn't sound right.
And then you get gold and you sell it. I promise, chat, back me up. Someone knows his math. I swear to... Where's Jet? Jet is the coal king. He knows the coal math.
Hey, he's already typing in chat. I'm sure he's going to enlighten us in a second. Jet, fully stacked, how much does coal give when sold?
He'll tell you.
What's the cost benefit here?
I literally make fun of this guy every game.
Yeah, I don't... It's not a kills
really
rate. That's too much.
100? It's a lot of gold. I swear it's not just 100. Because you...
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Jet, will you please be useful and tell me in the chat how much coal gives you?
No, you can answer your question with...
Okay, somebody's saying 350 gold. That seems like way too much. I would buy coal as support if it was that much.
If you buy coal support, you might get flamed a little bit, but hold on.
I'm going to get flamed anyway.
Engage here. Scat of the Week is going to miss from Sandy Snake. Can they make the play happen? That was a Nico clone getting chunked out, but nothing to happen here. A little gun shy from Calbert, not going in to force that fight. Gotta love it, honestly. You know.
Yeah. I need you to talk for a second. I'm looking something up.
No, you're all good. Do that research. We can see complete control of this river, and an engagement maybe not able to quite find IREP. Control of this Baron pit and this river from the blue side comp. I don't think, though, their Baron clear is that good, which means they are going to probably need a fight or a pick to set up a real Baron attempt. Meanwhile, the Drake is spawning right now. Both sides going to want to jockey for this control. A little bit late, but does have the teleport, so can maybe move. A beautiful flank ward there on the Raptor pit. And Microscopic Rick is going to engage with the bandage toss, find the Wukong clones away. Nothing so far. Meanwhile, in the top side, Control is able to push things around, and Music grabbing pressure on the mid. I just generally like this Drake setup well from BMS. You can see them walking in, getting control of the river, but the benefit of being on blue side is you have that wall right there to kind of shield you, and if you have the gap closer over the pit, you can always have a sort of outside shot at a steal. But would like to see them get more control over the river. Maybe Rick has stepped up a little bit too far, is caught with the Scat of the Week and the Nocturne Q, but you know, only losing maybe a third of his health, and he's got some gummies right there to juice right back up. Nico is teleporting in and disguising as Renekton. I don't know who he's disguised as, but it's epic and I love it, and Nico's awesome. As Rick is going all the way in by himself in the mid lane, flashes and finds the Christmas Sad Mummy. There is going to be a Renato over the top. He is ticking down in the bailout, not quite able to get it, but they do get a return pick onto Sandy Snake. Control is unstoppable. Music is running away from Blood. Blood is fully back in control, and Luciv is pumping out damage. Speedy turning and trading shots back onto Blood. Blood is stealth back in. Do they know it? They don't. Speedy lives by 1 HP, and Control finds the knockup with the Nico ult. Can they finish this kill onto Blood? Blood living for so long, healing with Sunderer, but does go down. Speedy credited with that kill. Luciv and Calbert, what can you do? That is 3 kills to 1, 2 over to BMS. I don't know how many.
It was.
I think
it was just the one. Just the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the
okay.
one
So that was almost 3 for 0. If the bailout had, or if they had gotten the kill on Sandy just like a tiny bit sooner, bailout would have saved him as well. That couldn't have been much closer, and honestly, just disastrous result for the side. He queued the clone.
Gotta say,
of Snake.
Yeah, it looked absolutely doomed for BMS. Like, Rick is way too far up by himself, but yeah, they are just able to turn it around. Beautiful flash ult from him and great communication from his team in week 1 to be that on the same page of being like, okay guys, we gotta fight here, let's go, and all going at that speed. I really love it. I'm
gonna throw it out here really fast where Dragon starts. So Colt costs 450, which is the part we were missing. You get 1 per stack, so that's 100 gold. And then when you complete all of them, you get an extra 350. So at that point, it's like net neutral, and then you sell it for 180. So you profit 180 total, but also you get the stats while you're doing it, right? But those stats are only, it costs 450, which is what you get back when you come.
Oh, so it's even. And then you sell it and you get that gold. That makes sense. Guys? Alright, we lost. Is Rudy
gone? Or did I crash?
No, that was really weird. I think Rudy's here. I hope Rudy's here.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out for a sec, but I thought I did, so that was a little interesting. But Right now, that is going to be second Drake. I believe went over to BMS. We were talking call math, but I think they picked it up.
Which part did I cut out on? Did you hear me say it was 54% gold efficient?
I didn't.
Okay, it's only 54% gold efficient, which is the important part, right? You make 180 gold off of it, but it's not as gold efficient as other items.
Just friggin' math, man. I don't know what this is nerd. This is nerd shit, man. Just buy.
Are you not a fucking or a gosh darn accountant, bully?
No, I mean I am, but I mean I'm not a nerd, dude. I'm gonna just build what I
build.
What
day of the week is it, and what are you doing right now?
Alright.
I think you're a bit of a nerd, and it's okay, man. There's no shame in the game.
Alright, you know, yes, but I'm not gonna do gold efficiency math on my Kolba.
I'm not gonna do it either. I'm gonna read it off of the internet.
You did look.
Somebody else can do that. Some other nerd can do it for me.
Coming out the 52% gold efficiency side.
54, you idiot.
You said, yeah, I told you. I'm not a nerd. I don't know, dude. That's why I need you.
Okay, what happened in the last 2 minutes while my stream lagged and?
We did whatever we just did. They got a Drake.
Did anybody take the dragon? Who took it?
Yeah, BMS took the Drake and then a mid turret in response from Snek. It's only 2 Drakes on their side and a manageable gold lead, or gold deficit if you're Snek. But with that mid turret down, it does set them up really well now to start to contest Baron and the next Drake that's spawned. So Snek definitely not out of it yet, and we see an engage here on the Music. Music actually just gonna straight up solo kill Blood. Huge mistake by Blood. I think Blood W'd there, which gave Music a double Gore Drinker proc. That Wukong clone is coded as another champ, so you get 2 champions worth of Gore proc when you use it there. It's like you're in a crowd with just one person fighting you. It's a huge disadvantage, and you can see, man, Music has run away with this lane. I don't know what level Blood is. I can't tell from this because he's dead, but that was not meant to be Flame. I'm sorry, Blood. But Music level 16 already on the Renekton, 28 minutes into the game, really strong here. Absolutely looking to backpack his team as Irep is already in bailout, is going to get the ult off, but hits no one with it. Baron is going to go over to the side of BMS, and they find a nasty Curse of the Sad Mummy. Elusive is very low, in spite of his cleanse, not able to get away from all that CC, and 2 kills and a Baron going over to BMS. Now, I said a second ago this game looks close. It's looking pretty blown out now for BMS.
That is going to help break the game open. We were talking earlier about maybe the Ezreal indexing too much into safety, but you notice there, even with his E and his cleanse, he still went down. He cleansed the Amumu, but you can't do much about the Nico follow-up there when he flashes on top of you.
I don't think he had flash up.
I think it came up after the fight, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was after, so that definitely sucks, and yeah, it does just feel bad. You gotta just try to find your way away from that
Great Zanya's there at the end to keep Control alive as well.
Yeah, no, true. Control playing like an absolute pro on a champion. I don't think we've seen him play before. This Nico really showing up is...
Somebody check and make sure that's not mid on his account.
Yeah, honestly, do we get a spot check in comms or something? Like,
honestly, that's the biggest compliment we could pay him, right?
Is it? I mean...
I'm just standing there for my mid laner right now.
Yeah,
hey, that's my #1 draft pick.
There you go.
Okay, Blood is completely caught out here.
Yeah, Blood caught out here. Is going to use a Cyclone just to try to escape, but is immediately caught by a Vantage Toss and a root from the Nico. Irep finds the kill with the
Irep with
Gotta love it. As we see Music on the other side is getting engaged on. I don't know that they win this. This is a level 17 Renekton. Scatter the Weak is going to catch him, and you can see immediately that pops out. But here's the Dominus from Music. Paranoia follows up by Calvert, but Calvert, you're alone. Be interested to see if Music tries to turn this. He is going to flash away and turn in just one shot Nocturne and walk away.
Yeah,
this
that
Renekton is gigantic, by by the way.
Actually, is that a full Gore Drinker? Or a full...
Yeah, it's full Maw. Yeah.
Full Maw.
He's gigantic. Music is huge. Music is body.
There's the GA on top. I don't think he's going to die again this game.
Yeah, he got the mashup for it, but Music has bodied Blood in this game. Just full credit, straight credit to Music.
Yeah, producer, can you tell me who had side select here? I'm curious. Yeah. Okay, so BMS did choose red side, which is what I would have guessed. Like, I think what both teams are going to value here is the counter pick for that top lane matchup. I know that Blood would have advocated for red side if he were to have that opinion, so it makes a lot of sense to me that it's not that his team overrode him, but just that overrode him, just that the other squad did want to take that away.
Yeah, gotta say, I don't think historically you would think Music is the player that you wait for counterpick with, but holy crap, is he making this Renekton pick work? And you can see he's really put in a lot of time, and I think obviously improved as a player. Like, just looks day and night better than he's looked in the past. Not fighting his past performances, just how good he looks now. And his whole team coming together here. I think him winning this top lane matchup into Blood is a huge good omen for his team going forward into the season and in the series in particular.
Absolutely, and let's talk a bit about Microscopic Rick's play. Like, he's had, I can think of 3 different instances where he like flash ults like multiple members of the enemy team and like gives his team just the easiest setup in the world.
Yeah, didn't get a great second to talk about this, but one downside of the blue side comp is that they don't really have a great player to step up and catch that bandage toss. And ever since Amumu got buffed, he's got 2 of them. So if you can find a way onto those carries, you can absolutely set up a game-losing fight or a game-winning fight for your team with a nasty Chrysalis Head Mummy. So, you know, if we see this Amumu pick again, would like to see the blue side respond with a little bit more of a tank or something that can step up and catch the Amumu and just kind of keep him from the carries.
I mean, this game's not over yet. We've seen people throw way more skewed games in the past in this league, so 100%. Plenty left to play before we get too into draft analysis. But I definitely see what you're saying, and I would bet money that Bush plays a tank next game, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah, I think that's probably true, and you can see from this game, you know, the Karma pick is going to put in value as this goes on, and honestly, like, the part of the game that you pick Karma for hasn't
it's the lane.
hit.
It's the lane.
It's kind of the lane.
If you're playing it to buff up your ADC, you pick Lulu. You pick Karma to be a lane bully.
Yeah, but if you pick Lulu here, you get absolutely mopped. Like, you pick Karma here, 1, because you're Bush, and that's the only enchanter you can play, but 2, like, you want to find an enchanter to scale into the mid game. Karma will carry you through the early game and scale into the mid game in an acceptable way. Like, Karma can still put in work and help his team out here.
Luciv has caught so much farm.
Yeah, Luciv's gigantic in this game.
Highest farm in the game right now.
Luciv
still doesn't have as many items as Renekton, but
very big.
Put that down to turret gold.
A lot of people are starting to build Cleaver on more and more ADs. This would definitely be a game I would consider it. I mean, you've got a lot of armor staring you in the face here, and I guess with Blood, actually Blood's already bought it, so he's able to stack it on the front line pretty well.
You got armor on 4 out of the 5 carries right now, or 4 out of the 5 champions on the side of BMS.
So just any and all armor pen on your side is going to be...
Well, he does have the Shurelya's for armor pen.
Yeah,
with
true.
That third.
True. No, definitely don't hate that at all. Like,
no.
Necessary for sure in this game.
So we have Baron coming up here in about a minute. Dragon, likely, what, a minute behind that? I think that was about what the timer was.
Something like that.
This will be Chemtech Soul, and the patch isn't live yet, right? That's tomorrow?
Dude,
I think that so. I believe the patch is live tomorrow. That has quite a few system and jungle plays.
The jungle changes are tomorrow? They are not.
I'm almost positive they are. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I mean, one thing to note is like the individual dragons aren't going to be as powerful in the patch. I mean, this actually doesn't need noting because it doesn't happen until tomorrow. But I'll just tell you because I started. Individual dragons aren't as strong, but Soul has been or will be buffed for every Soul across the board.
I think that, you know, if you're playing for Soul before, you're playing for it harder now, and irrespective of how those Drakes feel. And yeah, one thing I want to highlight in this game right now is look at Music in the side lane. Like, Blood can't handle him in the side lane. There's a good shot that Music can just dive Blood. He has to play it right, but I think Music can really push Blood around in this lane. Is right now just wave clearing out, but it's not inconceivable that someone could have to come back and bail Blood out of this bot side. And you know, just because of how much of a presence Music has in that split, it's going to open up things like complete bot side control to set up for this Drake, or an angle maybe at the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is winning a team fight for the side of Snek is looking harder and harder as this game goes on. You have IREP, whose one job is just going to keep Speedy alive, and Speedy's gotten through the mid-game trough that Caitlyn has, you know, because she has those long-range autos in lane that needs, like, 3 items to really scale the damage forward. But, yeah, in terms of teamfight potential, it's got to go to the side of BMS. That means they need to use what their comp is good at and look for one of those picks. Like, you got to get on top of them with Blood cloning in, Calvert ulting on top, and make that fight imbalanced if you want to be able to, like, win it hard.
Yeah, absolutely agree with everything you just said.
I think they're giving Soul, though. Trading Soul.
Yeah, they can't be here in time. I don't... hate this, I guess. I think Soul, Chemtech Soul got a bad rep because initially it seemed a little underpowered. It got a quick buff, and ever since then it seemed, to me, really freaking strong. With the right team comp, Renekton is definitely going to be one that benefits from it. You can see the redemption coming down, so they know this is happening. A Bounty and Baron going over to the side of Snack. They have to make this Baron count, and first and foremost have to escape with it. They are able to do that. Inhib coming back up in the bot side. Would like to see Music try to pressure this out. Isn't able to. We can see the wave here crashing. Yeah, so I think, all in all, trade of objectives. You kind of hate to give up a Baron from such an ahead position as BMS, but, you know, ultimately going to be happy walking away with the Chemtech Soul.
Absolutely. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but
yeah,
Redemption doesn't give vision during Nocturnal, right? Like, nothing does.
Unless you had a Spell Shield, yeah. You can Spell Shield Nocturne.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's the only, so, like, if you play Malzahar, like, versus Nocturne, you almost always see the Nocturne. Like, you see through it. It just pops your shield.
Huh, the more you know.
Yeah, interesting interactions. It is a weird one. It's like a spell that casts on you that now you can't see anything, but yeah, that's one of those super niche ones, yeah. Wait, TFO? Oh, really?
TF can't see Malzahar when he ults? If he has his spell shield up?
I didn't know that one. Really? I didn't know that at all. Okay, so production saying spell shield, you can't see TFO. That's an interesting one too.
I guess it's just because I don't play any champions that aren't Leona or Nautilus.
How many... yeah,
Dude, imagine playing this game for, what, has it been 8 years now? And having played like 10 different champions.
Yeah, man.
That's me, baby!
I feel that lately. I've basically played like 3 champions on this, and one of them is named Briar.
What are the other 2 called, Billy? Oh, Rick is going in here, though.
I don't know, but here's Rick on the engage. Elusive immediately forced to cleanse, and Bush League gets half his health bar from that headshot, or whatever the ultimate is, from Speedy. Much damage.
Piltover...
It's not that... No, the Piltover Peacemaker is the Q. I have no idea what the ult is, though.
It might just be called Headshot. Or Ace in the Hole? Is it Ace in the Hole?
Ace in the Hole. That's it. It's the Ace in the Hole. He hit him.
Dude, isn't it? Oh, but the pick off, Sandy blows up IREP.
Yeah, IREP just instantly dead. So we see the engage here on the top side. Are they able to find anything back? Sandy is actually walking up, but Rick just too darn tanky with that Jock Show pop. Isn't going to be the one you can kill here. Music is completed. Meanwhile, a Hull Breaker. He is absolutely capable of pushing.
What is level 18 as well?
Yeah,
I'm curious what the item discrepancy looks like, but we're getting closer and closer to that point in the game where Music's lead is not as important as it once was, and Renekton's the champion doesn't scale the best into the game. So, I mean, yeah, Music's a full item ahead right now. Hasn't happened yet, but the more and more this drags on, the more that side lane's going to equalize, until eventually it's just going to be a matter of skill.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you went for Hullbreaker, and honestly, it's kind of interesting you're playing it this way. Like, if I were them, I'd just be grouping in a turret. It could be top turret. It's obviously hard because you lost Baron, as you see maybe an engage here.
Rick looking hard.
Is going to go wide, but yeah, if I were the red side, I'd be looking to just siege a turret. You have Caitlyn, you're fed, you have Soul. Baron is now gone. You really have no excuse at this point. Like, go mid, go top,
force a fight.
Whatever.
Just force a fight somewhere.
It's almost certainly to your advantage to do so, and Music can really tank a lot of shots. I think it's interesting he went for Hullbreaker because it kind of speaks to how they want to end this game through that split and pulling blood maybe away. I think that's super viable. I just think it's a little bit harder to do from a coordination perspective, and just keep it simple, stupid. Just walk down the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. It was the team fight that I liked so much from them, but I guess, I mean, you could send 4 bot, just leave Music top to hit the open turret while everyone hits the inhib, but they're sending 2 to match on Jazz right now. Don't overcommit on it.
Bush is already dead from Speedy in the mid lane. Already a pick there. Huge advantage to them now, playing with the power play 5v4, and Music was able to push the other 2 away. Really, the other 2 just have to run back and respond to their mid lane being flattened, and that means Music is able to quickly pick up a topside turret in response. Meanwhile, bot wave is pushed in actually and given a turret over to the other side. You see the Cyclone coming down onto Jazz Music. 3 people here. This is the pick. They have to find this onto Music. Music is able to stall for a considerable amount of time here. Flash is out. Flash was matched here by Bloodbath and Beyond, but so much healing from the Renekton as he's able to find the double E out, but the shutdown goes over to Bloodbath and Beyond. The trade is going to be for an inhib mid and an inhib bot, but I think all things considered, a really well done fight by Blood and by the rest of his team there to find a pick on Music. You're probably losing something anyway with Bush League down. Getting that kill.
Had
and
a
shutdown
GA.
back
Did
on
that
the
get
Music.
popped at one point and he sold it for the Shojin?
I don't think Music had the GA. I think Blood
No,
had
I'm
GA.
pretty sure Music had a GA at one point. He had both Hex Drinker or Maw and GA.
I think he just had
for
chain
4
vest.
items.
I think he had chain vest and he built it into.
Somebody in chat tell me I'm right, because I'm being gaslit by myself right now.
I'm
But Sandy,
I'm sure he didn't.
I swear he had a GA. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't at all. Sandy
He doesn't have a
and
GA right now. He went down.
Pushing in, if we see this is an Elder spawning. The biggest way to throw in League of Legends is to give an Elder from ahead. Like, if you give an Elder Drake, you guarantee 2 minutes of game time that the behind team can now just almost always beat you in a team fight. Like, unless they disconnect and
yeah, I mean, I would like to say, Billy,
keyboards.
You didn't watch the series last night, but in game 2, my team was a bit behind, and then we lost the Elder, and then we killed 4 out of 5 of the enemy team at the Elder pit. So
maybe they got abducted by aliens. Maybe they got abducted and
but it can happen.
You found the one team fight.
It was a good team fight.
Darn impossible to win into Elder. It feels like so. You always hate to
almost
be flipping this from ahead.
Not exact. I mean, yeah, I'm not disagreeing. You definitely don't want to give Elder if you have a choice.
I was about to say, what is Speedy doing off to the side here? But that is definitely not Speedy. That is a very stealthy, not so stealthy control. Yeah. Sitting off to the side here, is eventually going to be spotted out, has to walk away. I think you really do need to look for a teleport flank or some kind of flank. Elusive is just picking them to pieces from this position. I don't think this is a winning spot, and I think...
Dude, they can do this all day.
Yeah,
just throw Qs at Elusive, or Elusive's going to throw Qs all day.
Yeah, in the short term, this is a winning engagement. Hold on, we have a nasty scat of the week on a Speedy and Rick. That's a huge chunk. Redemption will heal for some of it. But now this is going to be complete Elder control for Team Snack. They are going to have to hold the river here, but they are able to just straight up start it. This is going to set up for a burger flip. You need to see BMS walk up and contest this now, or they're just going to lose Elder and lose the game. Can they get it here? Even just a stall is good. We see Super Minions pushing into the base. Rick already half health. Does connect a Banish Toss onto Sandy Snake. Person said moment comes down, but Sandy not under threat. Bush League is. Bush immediately goes down. Eagle follows up on the backside, and he is dead. Calvert is dead. That is going to be a traded kill back onto Rick. Control fell very low. Actually fell down to Elusive. Elusive, can you clutch this up? Elusive and Sandy here. Blood had to reset because the Super Minions were pushing into the base. I gotta take a darn breath because this fight is bananas. Music finds a double E onto Elusive. Elusive actually able to buffer his Ezreal E back out. IREP is able to catch Sandy with the Renata Q, who in turn finds immediate damage with the Zonius. Sandy is shut down. Music able to get that kill, and now this should mean Elder completely in control for BMS. A huge headshot onto Elusive is going to mean he's dead to the ace in the hole. In response, Speedy Bandito able to get that kill, and both turrets dropping as well should just mean the game here with the Elder against
It likely does. What a fight to go out on there. I did not think that they had the damage, but honestly, IREP clutched that up with landing the root onto mid, because if mid and Elusive had been able to continue playing out of range, I don't think they would have been able to take the dragon before one of them fell.
Yeah, definitely not. I think really well done by them to find a way back into that river, because yeah, it was looking pretty cursed there for a sec. It looked like they may have just thrown the game, and nope, find the way back in. Real strength to that Chemtech buff. You're able to just tough it out, and once you get to a low health, you're almost buffed. So, maybe just eating that poke for fun so that they can get their true power out of that soul buff. This should just mean a Baron for them. With Elder Dragon, I'd be very shocked if they don't just walk straight down mid here and end the game.
I mean, nothing else to do. You have an exposed
there's almost
right
nothing
now.
else you could.
There's no turret. Just walk down mid and force a fight. Hit that inhib and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, even just a shot is going to do a third of Sandy's health. Redemption over the top from IREP.
Just 10% of your health is true damage.
Yeah, just got to make the wounds sink in even deeper. Can you hold this neck? You got to think almost impossible to do so. Cyclone coming out from Bloodbath and Beyond onto IREP. The immediate response with the bailout should mean he's completely safe. You can see already Blood GA is popped. Calvert has gone down. to Speedy Bandito. Luciv running for his life. Sandy Snake dead as well to Speedy. And the Elder Burn also finishes off Luciv. A quadra kill for Speedy and a game 1 win for BMS.
Yeah, honestly, just what a battle back and forth throughout the entire thing. That game hung on a razor's edge multiple times, but BMS comes out with the G1 victory. Yeah. And honestly, yeah, that's what you predicted, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not what you bet on, though.
I swear it's what I predicted. You could hear me live. Not what I bet on. Production may
Wait, that means my prediction was wrong, but my bet was right. Awesome. Thank you, Bully. Appreciate it. I'll take those minute points.
Hey, no problem. Take my fake money. I think the damage charts kind of speak for themselves. This is a feels bad one if you're BMS. Look at how many of their champions did more damage than their counterpart, and they lose the game. It feels awful to be in that spot, but hey, just speaks to really well executed map play by BMS. And
honestly, I feel like that was a music diff. Like, he held Blood down and was such a presence in the side lanes, almost impossible to match. So the question is going to be, how do they come back in game 2 and win? And we will let you think about that before we tell you our thoughts right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment. Now is your time, so prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Welcome to the climb up. Reach for the summit. Visions brave, the one false, steadily the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. They will remember you. It is you fight among the dead, beneath the dirt. Or do you know yet? Or do you want it? And when the giants call to ask you what you're worth, do you know if win or die? Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Pick up your weapon and face it.
The night beckons while you dream. A life never lives in peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TCL Season 7, Week 1, the final game, Game 3 of the first week of the regular season. I am Bully. He's Rudy. My words aren't working so well.
You're doing a great
because
job, bud.
We just had a darn wild Game 1, and I gotta think Game 2 is going to be more of the same.
I mean, absolutely. We saw a lot of just like really impressive play out of players who we hoped the best for, but didn't know quite what to expect, right? I mean, we got to talk about how Music just kind of dominated Blood throughout most of the game, and was able to do that. And at the same time, Cal, a jungler who had a lot of question marks on him going in, kind of also crushed early, even though his team didn't end up clutching up.
Yeah, full shout out to Cal. Like, that dude, everywhere he went, game obviously didn't go his way, but everywhere he went, man, he was creating stuff in the early game, and I think really paired well with Sandy in a way that we haven't seen really anyone do in the first week. In terms of moving with their mid laner. I didn't watch the game yesterday, so I can only speak for the,
That's
the
okay.
one game I played in. But look, it was a monstrous game from him in the early. Didn't ultimately work out, but yeah, flip side Music, man. What a carry performance, just completely bodying Blood with that Renekton pick.
Yeah, I mean,
Huge,
did a
huge
phenomenal
man.
job. Phenomenal job. Okay, so the question is, as we get started and head into game 2 here, because it is a 3-game series, that game might not matter at all. We'll see where it goes. What sort of adjustments do you expect to see out of these teams?
Well, you got to remember, all teams make playoffs, so they may just lock in completely troll champions. No, I think, honestly, biggest adjustment I want to see. Can I see this? Am I in lobby? We are. Yeah, huge adjustment off the rip is that the sides are flipped, right? Blood is presumably going to hold his pick until he has counter pick. I would like to see BMS respond by banning out some of Blood's champs in round 1. If Blood really wants to wait to pick his champion last, make him play his 5th best top or 4th best top or whatever you got. Just like really restrict his pool heavily and then find something that can fit in around those bans, right? So you cover yourself with some bans and find the greediest picking you can get away with for Music.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I also agree with Spirit in the chat saying get Bush on something that he's like known for. I don't think his karma was necessarily a problem, but I also don't think it added a ton to his team, right? It's not the reason they lost, but it also didn't help them win that much.
Completely agree. Let's find something for Bush where he can feel like he's playing the game. Maybe he just wanted back in TCL to not play the game. That's an interesting.
Yeah, he's here only to flame Luciv. That is his entire role in life.
It's super possible. But you know, I think off the rip, I don't think any of these bans have changed.
No changes yet.
Maybe one.
I think Nautilus got banned before ASOL last time.
Yeah, there's something else besides ASOL last time. So maybe they're gonna first pick. Honestly, if Nautilus is not banned here, I could see.
They also thought Cal did well.
This could be Nautilus first pick. I want to say it could be, because if you don't think Bush is going to play something like Morgana into you, like what is is Luciv going to play like Sivir in a Nautilus? Like, I don't think so.
I mean, he would.
Will
or he'd like Ego Illusion or something.
Yeah, that seems more likely. And I think in that world, you're really happy to play Nautilus here.
Do it, Music. Everyone makes playoffs. Just do it.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's a less fun version, but I'd also be okay with it.
He's not going to do it. I'm telling you, this is for sure Nautilus. I would put my money on it. Oh, actually, wait, no. Did they?
No, you were right. You were right. It was Nautilus.
Okay. Nautilus pick here for presumably IREP. Although, actually, I think it was Rick I watched play Jungle Nautilus.
Okay, we saw Jungle Nautilus once last season. Do you remember how that went?
I have no idea.
It went terribly.
Who played Jungle Nautilus last season?
I don't remember who did it, but they lost in like 23 minutes or something.
Someone's in Inter for playing Jungle Nautilus. I think
you just said Rick is going to do it.
I think he might do it. Look, I'm being positive tonight. I think Jungle Nautilus has flaws. I think Ashe into Nautilus is ambitious. So
I mean, Ashe is really strong right now, though.
Ashe is the most annoying champion in the world to play into. Hate Ashe. Don't like her at all. But
I mean, like an Ashe Braum here or something.
Yeah, true. That would be an awesome response. Actually, Bush been working on Braum. I've seen him playing it a couple times. I was actually
just get the full Glacial comp, honestly.
Yeah, if they get... This could be huge. If they get Braum and Sejuani here, actually, not only do you have Glacial Spike with the Ashe, but you have that double stacking of the stun passives that's so effective and has been like a pinnacle in pro play for so long. Could be really effective if Sandy can play a melee mid. Like if
I'll be
Sandy has a
honest.
melee mid in the repertoire, it could be a really nasty combo.
At this point, I need them to pick Braum, Lysandra, and Ornn, but Ornn with the Thunder God skin. Like, just aesthetically, that's what I need from them right now.
Ornn. Wait, why Ornn?
Because Ornn is also, like, Freylord. He's just...
Ornn
if they
is
use the
Freylord? No,
yeah,
he's
like
not.
he's like... Oh, I guess they could just do Volibear. That would fit better without having to use the skin.
Wait, is Ornn really Freljord?
Yeah, him and Volibear are, like, gods or something in the
He's
lore.
on fire!
Yeah, he's the Forge God.
Where do you have a forge in the Blit? That doesn't make
You
any
think
sense.
they didn't have forges in, like, the tundras?
Dude, but
Like, you
Ornn
can
is
still have fires.
Ornn's literally on fire.
Okay, yeah, but let's talk more realistically. Braum does make a lot of sense. I don't
Braum
think
is-
you're going to see Volibear out of blood, but it would be really funny. Varus does get picked up, which, I mean, look at the amount of control in CC. Okay, yeah, there's the Braum.
Yeah, it's a great Braum. This is an awesome Braum.
Very
pick.
good Braum.
I mean, look at how hard it is for Varus to do any damage in this game. He's got to damage through a Sejuani and a Braum. It's actually brutal for him.
Guys, if any of you are listening to stream, everyone makes playoffs, so just, like, finish your Freylord comp.
Yeah, true.
Volibear, Lysandra. You can do this. Yes.
Shout out Lemon.
Thank you.
And
Shout
a
out
coin.
Lemon for
Lucky
being
coin.
passionate about what he cares about. There's nothing wrong with that. Banning out Diamumu, showing Rick the respect. But yeah, the point that I was making is so much lockdown from Nautilus, Orianna, Varus, like huge playmaking potential that honestly is probably going to make this Ash's life a little bit miserable when she gets picked out.
Yeah, definitely true, but just going to say, I think this lane is pretty hard to play from Speedy and IRAP. I think Bush having the Braum maybe in his back pocket caught them a little bit off guard.
Mhm.
Would have liked to see that, honestly, instead of Leona, or maybe even with the Leona ban, but now with Braum in the mix here, I think it's going to be very difficult for
Yeah.
Varus to play this game. Like, it's
Yeah, I mean, that's such a lane neutralizer, you know?
Yeah,
It makes
I mean,
it so much harder to go in.
so the one thing I'll say is the wild card is Speedy is known to play all kinds of random builds, and
You think he's gonna poke
this
Varus?
could be. I wouldn't go poke because I think poke really struggles into tanks, but the AP build could be very good here if you can run out your comp with a lot of
okay.
AD. Maybe an Aksh on top out of music if you trust him. Like that could be one here as well. Don't think they're gonna blind that, but stuff
Hey,
like that. Anything
We
that brings
trusted
a lot
Hippo
of
with
AD.
Yone for 3 games and it worked, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta let people have some fun, you know? It's
Hey,
not all about
Hippo's
the
a
meta.
smurf around the Yone. Don't ever make fun of
He
Hippo's
did.
Yone. That dude's a
Hey,
beast.
he's on my team. He did great last
He's a
night.
beast.
There's no
He's
flame
a
here.
beast.
Shout out
But,
Hippo. Okay,
Yeah, I think it'll
Lysandra.
be interesting.
Pick
I
Lysandra.
think, can I just
Blood?
say, by the way,
Blood is not counterpicking. He's saving for Sandy.
there's no way.
I mean, Sandy could potentially take that mid versus Orianna, but
Yeah,
like,
true.
that
Could be a
sounds
flex.
terrible. That sounds
It's
terrible.
it's not a great time, and they did just nerf Renekton's MR, so he doesn't want to lane into something like Orianna in the mid lane. I gotta say, I think there's a Trundle angle here for Rick. Pretty brutal matchup, and I know that's one that he does play.
Trundle would be pretty smurf here.
If you catch the Sejuani when she's procced her Aftershock, and her
Okay,
passive
that
still
is
up-
a flex Nautilus then.
Oh
that
my
Nautilus
God,
might be jungle.
Never mind.
Or top. I mean, potentially it used to be a top laner.
I mean, there is a world where it's like Alistar top, maybe. This is so
No.
weird.
No, it's Ali Bot, and that's kind of hilarious. Also, no, actually, I'll save that. Yeah, so we got to lock in what a top laner or a jungler here. Nautilus is going off roll somewhere.
I have no idea what's happening. Yeah, I'm just gonna try.
Still don't know. Still don't know. Like
We're going
theoretically,
Malphite?
it could be like
Yeah.
Alistar support.
Honestly, Malphite's
jungle,
pretty
Nautilus
good.
top. Like could be Malphite jungle. Like that's an off meta pick we've seen before in TCL. That is just so much engaged though. Look how much knockup
Yeah.
hard CC lockdown that is.
I have no idea if they've
Classic.
won this draft. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna
Take
immediately.
the. I
see
mean, we
Sylas.
were talking about those great alts. Now look where they
IT?
are.
You really could flex the Silas just straight into the top lane too, and it wouldn't be bad. But
That's true. Blood could play
No.
it. Also, anybody who has opinions on this, if you want to give your opinions on this wild draft, and also flame, at least Silas is the right color scheme. Not Freylord though. He's Demacia. Hop into a caster's corner, or I'm sorry, armchair analytics, or an analyst. Sorry, in the Discord, and we'll pull you in to give some thoughts if you have any. But it looks like it will be Rick Nautilus jungle, like you were talking about.
yeah, that's. I mean, ambitious. I think they maybe got a little bit too creative. Maybe thought in their head that hey, everyone makes playoffs, so we can control one. But yeah, I mean, just I think the thing I'm most shocked about is how many champions you know where they're from. To be honest,
I mean, the
Was
amount
it
I
TFT?
think about it sometimes, like just the amount of knowledge that's in my head about this game that could be filled up with useful things. Like it should also, I mean, it comes easy when you play things like TFT and like Runeterra. Like the lore is more built into those games
Yeah,
with like
true.
regions and stuff.
I
And
know that's kind of like the traits in TFT. I've played a little bit of TFT,
yeah,
but yeah, that makes sense. But back to this game, I think it could be particularly brutal. I mean,
Gamba is live. Gamba is live. Go ahead.
I love the Malphite pick in theory. This is such a weird draft. Malphite in theory is very good here, but who the heck is damaging anyone? Like, if Sandy builds like Roa and the more tanky
Yeah, if he
Silas
goes
build this
Conqueror.
game, I think he's pretty unkillable. Like, I just don't think there's enough damage from BMS to actually finish these kills. This is a big pivot from what they just did.
I mean, Varus
And-
can pump out damage. It's like any if he goes on hit or AP, like he can shred
definitely
tanks.
He definitely can't do AP in this game anymore. If he does, it's
Doesn't the blight proc for like percent max health or
for
something?
sure. But who does any AD damage after that? Like it's
Oh,
just
excellent point. Yeah, but I mean,
there's
on hit
not
Varus
enough-
also shreds tanks.
yeah, no, true, definitely true. I think this is one though where you got to get ahead. Like
Dude,
you need
honestly,
to see
they
Varus
might have
get
picked
ahead.
this comp just to kill Lucid as many times as possible.
It could definitely work. Like they have so many engaged champions, but yeah, I'm gonna be
Look
honest.
at all of the
I
ball
don't see it.
delivery systems.
I don't
There's
see
so
it.
many. No, I'm putting my money on Snek in this one. And if you'd like to put your money on it, the Gamba is live in the Twitch stream.
But I have
Go
no
ahead and
money.
place your bets.
I have 152 points. and
Did you lose it all last round?
Yeah, I didn't even mean to bet on that team. I called it right.
That's
But it's okay.
hilarious. I won 19,000 from that.
Hey, you're
So
welcome.
thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. 4,000 of those are mine. But
If I
whoa,
could give him back, I would.
wait, people are saying the draft is bad. Yo, hear me out. You
Yeah, I
can
don't think
leave-
people like the blue side draft here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of agree. This is, I mean, I think they just got a little too creative here. A little bit too much
I'm
going
willing
on.
to watch it happen, though. You know, I'm
Look,
here for it.
More than anything, I'm interested to see what the heck does Nautilus Jungle's clear look like. Does he 6 camp?
I
What do you
mean,
build?
He's probably 6 camp and get done like 10 seconds after Scuttle Spawn. So what, like 340? That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think one thing I've kind of fallen in love with lately, when my Briar is inevitably banned, is playing Even Shroud champs. And I would imagine Nautilus can definitely do
Dude,
that.
I
Like,
think Even
that
Shroud's
item-
such a bad item.
It's so
It's terrible.
Can I just say, everyone was building this
I would
on,
love
like,
to talk about this. I'd love to talk about this. Go
People
ahead.
were building this item on Yone when it had 10% increased damage, and they cut it to 7%, and everyone was like, not just on Yone, I'm out. On every champion that ever built Even Shroud in history, oh, it's 3% damage lower, I'm done. I'm out like a
it's
shark
not.
tank.
It's so. The way I look at this, and this is solely from a support perspective, right? As we load into game here, I did a couple of I paid a lot of attention to the numbers from Even Shroud, like the additional damage dealt,
Mhm.
and then like the next couple games I built Locket instead on the same champions, and like looked at the
Yeah.
amount of damage that I was able to block, and like it was wildly skewed. Like we're talking a factor of 20 in terms of like the damage differential that I was able to affect for my team.
I think, as compared to Locket, it can be true. I really like Even Shroud out of the jungle because it's so cheap that like
It
you
is
can
very cheap. Well, I mean, that's why we build it on supports.
Yeah, you can be super quick to 2 items, even if you're just like kind of playing average and farming at a reasonable pace. So I think. It's
Oh,
pretty
we got a
fun,
little
but-
J-turn mid or J-turn top happening, maybe.
Yeah, I need to see an invade here. I think this is a comp you have to get ahead.
That's
early
not how
and-
you
and
J-turn.
run with it. This is really weird.
Oh, they're baiting it.
I think they're stacking an invade. Yeah, watch Blood. Yeah, Blood's gonna try to do some Oscar theatrics here, but meanwhile, team has done a really bit of an interesting invade here. Spotted out on the ward, so Snakerdoodles know they're there. Are gonna just sit in the tri-bush for now. Ultimately, just gonna take some resets. That's a costly play. I get the gamble, and I like it. Honestly, random as hell that they went the way they did, trying to invade there.
I mean,
But
fine. Like, maybe they were just pushing for the ward. Like, they really want to know. Perhaps
well-
they're looking to mess with Rick early because they also have questions about the Nautilus jungle clear.
Yeah.
So they really want that knowledge.
I just.
Oh, wait,
I
no,
think-
it's the other way around.
Yeah, I really like. I think it was costly in that a lot of deep vision was given over for almost nothing. Blood does get that ward there, so some of that evens out. But you know, the thing with these deep wards is they're kind of like a step you take, but what do you learn out of deep warding these buffs? Like both junglers
So
are
are you
starting
saying you don't do that?
I,
Or you
I
wouldn't have
love
done it?
I love deep warding, but both of these junglers are playing like as textbook cookie. Like if you follow the Riot recommended pathing, you do what these junglers are doing right now.
It almost sounds like Flame Bully.
It's not flame. I'm just saying like you're not getting a ton out of these wards. It's something you do because you've always done it and it's technically good, like in theory, but you're not really getting a ton. I will say there could be some added value here. Look at Rick. Rick has some optionality in his pathing as we see a trade already on the Bush League.
I'll be so
Rick-
honest, I didn't expect Aftershock on the Alistar. I expected,
like Glacial or
honestly,
something?
Phase Rush.
Yeah, that would be
Phase
very
is what
IREP
most
up.
Alistars go, just to make sure you can stick.
Well, that's the reason why IREP didn't. Even though it sounds more fun and wacky.
Yeah, like, I mean,
wild.
what are the supports you take Phase Rush on? I would have expected IREP to do it, but nope, didn't go for it this game. Went with the Aftershock. Honestly, like, Aftershock's never bad, right?
No, absolutely
Take
not.
stats are great.
Yeah, I
I
have this
missed
theory.
that minion. Just calling that out on stream. He missed that.
I think IREP legit just takes whatever keystone the fewest like group of people.
He looks at
take.
the least played.
Yeah, it's just like what is the least played that is still like not
Dude,
completely.
He's
troll?
where those
Alright,
sample
I'll run
sizes of 10 come from. It's
yeah,
him.
actually, it's just IREP running Joker runes. Like it makes no sense. But we see Sandy here with a trade back onto control, just a little bit of poke. But Orianna has complete control in this lane early. Gotta say, the slower this early game goes, the bigger of a win it is for Snakerdoodles. And you can see, Rick is doing some interesting things in the pathing. Left both of the high value camps, the Gromp and the Krugs, worth the most XP. Both of those camps untouched so far.
He's pretty healthy too.
Well, that'll happen when you clear 4 camps, but it's an interesting clear. I don't know that I agree with it. You can see flipside Calvert is completely cleared out. He's going to snag a Scuttle Crab here, or threaten a gank, and can maybe even look for an invade on the Gromp. So pretty big advantage going over to the Sejuani off the rip. IREP just pushing Bush away so they can get the shove in the bot lane. Pretty smart.
Yeah, so one thing I do want to call out while we have is quite a slight lull. Shout out Ryoklu for the great work on all of the icons for the teams this season. Both of the ones tonight are probably 2 of my favorites for Snakerdoodle. But we do have a gank coming through in the top.
Goodness. Yeah, here's Calvert on the gank.
Jazz
Music's
out of
completely
out
out
of
of mana. He's dead. Yeah, he is gonna flash. Hate that, honestly. First
Oh,
blood going to Calvert. That's
all you had to do
can't.
was not auto.
Yeah, I don't know about taking that kill.
Great
but hey.
gank. Great gank. Way to give your flash so your top laner doesn't have to. But my
Yeah.
guy, just like let Renekton have the kill.
Yeah, very ambitious to take that one. As we can see on the flip side here, how hard it is
That
to
is what
engage.
Braum does. Yep.
Yeah, into that Braum, and it is immediately traded back. And this is the worst part of Ash's Lucid. is
Lucid,
just
what are you
healing autos
doing?
more and more, but already caught out. Ira W to minion there, and it means Bush is able to escape. That's tragic. We've all been there.
Yeah,
yes,
Lucid
they
got
can click
really
one
greedy
thing.
those last couple autos, walking up and
Yeah.
putting himself with that wall to his back. Like there was a killing blow there for sure, but everyone was able to get out with both flashes traded for the side of Snakerdoodle.
Yeah, so 2 flashes there actually means a pretty big edge for them. Rick forced a flash out as well. Is ultimately stunned up. Flash out of Sandy Snake to follow up. I think Rick is very dead here. Is
Got
able
the
to
Aftershock on.
the passive with the Aftershock, but does go down. Calvert with his 2nd kill of the game finds the follow-up stun onto Control, and Control has no mana. Needs to hold on, and ultimately also didn't run the teleport, so is going to be stuck in a pretty awkward spot in this lane. Let's see if they can completely choke him out of this wave. You can see 2 members staying so far. Calvert is going to path into bot, but ultimately another kill going over to Snakerdoodles.
Dude, I mean, I should have realized it sooner, but the Silas pick, I was only focused on being so good because of all the great ults that you can steal. I mean, notably the Malphite, right? Like, it's huge. But also, it gives you 4 melees for Sejuani. Like, wherever he goes, he's stacking that passive so quickly.
All right, Rick is
Blood getting
in red
bullied?
right now.
Blood getting bullied a little bit more. He's 2nd to 6. I don't think there's a kill window necessarily. But, man, that kill would have been so nice.
Yeah, this lane gets really rough the second Malphite starts building.
Ninja Tabbies and Bramble, like, what does your neck can do?
Bramble, you can go Warden's Mail if you want to. I mean, there are a lot of items you can find in the build path here that will just make this lane unplayable for Renekton. And Music is building, you know, the component that builds into all of them, so he can figure it out here. Calvert is going to leverage a lot of this early pressure. into an early Drake. I love this.
Yeah, the Nautilus jungle not working out yet, but maybe we've yet to see the light.
Yeah, I think he was seeing red a bit there. Maybe got a little bit too, you know, he was looking for the hook and hunting for it, and kind of forgot sometimes. I'm Nautilus jungle, not.
Yeah,
knowing
I've been there.
before.
I've been there.
I gotta actually go clear camps now. So forgot about that part of jungling, but you know,
hey, great early game from Cal.
yeah, Calvert once again kind of running stuff in this early game. Rick is gonna look for a gank here. I don't know if there's damage. Finds the hook onto Sandy Snake, who immediately just walks away. Don't know if Control can find a follow-up. You can see the ult stolen, and Sandy is gonna look to find a trade here. Blood has walked all the way down again, just being an absolute nuisance on the mid lane both games here, roaming through that river to back up his team at the cost of maybe some farm for himself. IREP is here as well, just to secure a cannon kill. This is a mess, a fiesta. This whole wave is going to crash in. You can see Music, yeah, is pulling away a little bit. I think this farm should be basically even, but I mean, that's a win for Malphite through 7 minutes. This should be the worst 7 minutes of Malphite's lane, and now he should be in a very good spot to sort of run stuff in this lane. So that's definitely looking up for BMS. I would say the rest of this this game not looking so hot, but you know, still very early, tons of stuff still to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, he's definitely itemizing into armor, which makes sense both from a Malphite and lane perspective, right? But Sandy did go Conqueror, so he's going to be healing up and doing a lot of damage in mid these fights. Not necessarily the burst we saw last night from the Electrocute that mid went on Sylas when he rampaged through game 3, but definitely itemizing for the lane, and it's going to make life hard for Blood. But Blood, being the player that he is like very active on the map whenever he can be. I mean, we saw that with the level 6 roam down to mid lane. Even if play didn't work out, he's got the option. He's looking for it, and like you got to respect him for that.
Absolutely. And yeah, Blood just played the map really well both games. Like, knows kind of like, hey, we got the gank. That was my window. You can see Malphite just eat him on that trade, and he like read the phone book before he could get his next auto in.
Dude,
so
Cal on the next objective, man. This guy's so focused right now.
yeah, Calvert just, I think a lot of times jungling just gets overcomplicated, and you can really simplify it by going for the neutrals. Like,
Yeah, gank top, counter gank, take dragon, take herald.
clear your camps, gank the lanes, take the objectives. You do at least 2 of those things well, you're probably
Messed
winning the
with the
game.
smite there, but that's okay.
Yeah, smite doesn't really matter, man. It's a crutch. It's
It's a crutch. Is that why you blew your flash last night?
Yeah.
Is that another crutch?
No,
Or
I got
Joe?
trolled.
Is that another crutch?
My
Yeah,
mom
here, make
packed
your
my lunch-
excuses right now on stream. Go ahead,
No,
Bullet.
look, I use the mom's lunch for runes, right? Like, so my mom packs my runes, but she packed them backwards. So I had flash on D,
She
which
put the
is
peanut
not...
butter and jelly on the outside of the bread.
Yeah,
instead
it
of
was
the inside.
gross, nasty, disgusting. And I walked to my camp. I pressed D, and all of a sudden I'm flashing, and my buff still hit me.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is
it's
going
okay.
on?
It gave us a lot of value, especially when you did it a second time. at
The
Dragon.
second, dude, the funniest part of the second time is
You can't
Tony
tell
is
me you
going,
didn't tilt there. Like you
Tony's
have to
going.
tilt it.
No, I tilted Tony harder than I tilted myself. Tony goes, "Bully, remember your flash. Bully, remember your flash." And I had no idea what he was talking about, and because I was just so focused on the Drake, and then I flashed again, and I was like, "Damn it, that's what you meant." But we
That's so
sorted it
funny,
out.
dude. That's
One
so
thing
funny.
I did realize is like I switched the binds after that, but that just like messed with my head. It's a nightmare scenario.
It's a good
but-
thing you run Briar, right?
Yeah, Briar actually saving mental there, carrying darn hard here, just like Calvert.
What is IREP doing?
I don't know. You could ask that about almost anything IREP does in game, but the dude's a beast, and usually it ends up working. So
I mean, Alistar is like one of the most premier roaming diving. It's probably the premier like roaming diving support.
Yeah.
So IREP has the ability here to do whatever he wants. He did rush Swifties, or not? Yeah, those are Swifties, not Mobies. Yeah, Swifties.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I expect to see him not just stay in lane with that buy.
yeah, just the cheapest boots you can get the hell out of lane and
Good
run
Herald drop
around
from Cal.
and make something happen.
Gonna
Yeah,
give his
Herald-
top laner some money to make up for that kill he stole.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, all right, I took a kill, have like half your plates worth of gold.
That is also getting nerfed next patch. The amount of gold from plates.
Yeah, I think that's good, honestly. But we see an engage here. Stolen ultimate into the shockwave by Sandy Snake. Control falling a little bit low.
Did you
Calvert.
realize Control took cleanse? Because I just realized Control.
Yeah. So he ran the cleanse to cover him from this exact play. As we can see, 2 members of BMS have roamed up. The Nautilus ult on a Sandy. Not sure that's the target you wanted. You can see now Blood is teleported in. Finds a stun onto a heroic IREP who walked into this. And Speedy has walked all the way up from the bot lane. They've now knocked Blood under the turret. The Shockwave actually misses. Blood able to escape, and Speedy just left in no man's land. Speedy and Control found dead. And now Rick is going to drop as well. Luciv roaming
just
up.
kill him.
It's the kill. IREP running for his life, has no ultimate, very low mana, but does have Flash of all things. Don't know if he knows how to use that, but we've got.
So honestly, I think that entire play, which ended up disastrous for the side of BMS, Rick just got a little bit greedy with his ult. They could have killed Cal and gotten out if he hadn't ulted onto Sandy.
I think you can take it a step further, too. I think they then turned on Blood way too heavily when they could have just taken the free kill on someone
Well, their
else.
bot lane was there, but Blood honestly like positioned so well. And they also, even after they knocked on a turret, he flashed out of Control's ult. And Control was so patient on that, too.
Yeah, really held it as long as he could and found what looked like a good angle, just not able to
Two
get
Drakes and 2.5k gold over the side of Snake.
And I gotta say, Snake's draft just feels so much better to me with a gold lead that this is a rough one. Like,
But
this
hey,
2K gold
they
lead
got pick potential out of the wazoo.
They do have that, but this 2K gold lead feels like you're fighting into a 5K deficit right now. Like,
I mean, we see items being
bad.
completed for the top 3 on the side of Snek, while there's still just components and boots on the other side.
Yeah, gotta shout out to Sandy. Went Roa this game. I think this build.
He's gonna be unkillable.
Yeah, I think people are pretty torn between Everfrost and this. This build is crazy if you're into multiple melees. Like, the way
Mid
you
went
proc
Night
the Eternity
Harvester.
and everything else. Well, no one plays Silas quite like mid. He plays it like he's playing Echo.
full damage. Yeah,
He plays it like he's playing Echo.
The control is not where he wants to be. No control. No cleanse this time.
Immediately caught, does pop the shockwave, but is gonna go down to the Q from Silas. Yeah, just not much he can do there, honestly. Calvert is Can I just say,
Lucid's arrow would have hit. It would have hit. If
the front runners for the MVPs is, hold on, we have a ganker in the mid lane. Sandy immediately knocks under tower, but does steal the Alistar ult, making him borderline unkillable. Calvert has to pay the toll though, as Speedy is just straight autoing him down, shut down.
Big shutdown onto the damage.
The 80 carries. We see a huge hook as well from Microscopic Rick. Sandy Snake does have that Alistar ult though, so he is borderline unkillable. And just walking out, maybe healed from that play, honestly. And 1 kill traded back, a big bounty onto your carry is going to feel great. But even though he died, just got to say, so far, the highlights for me of this series have been Calvert and Music. Like, these
100%. No doubt.
Game 1,
in both
Music
games.
was a smurf.
In both games.
And yeah, Music is playing this lane really done well, all in all. And Calvert
even farming
is
against their Renekton?
once again just running stuff in the early game. So huge props to both of those players, completely justifying their captains and picking them and having faith in them in the draft and showing up here when it matters.
Honestly, Calvert's the best jungler I've seen all week. I said that just for you, Bully.
I know. It's okay. Calvert's
sometimes you do all you can and you don't win, because of my producer's comments in my ear about the winning jungler.
You're right.
Okay, we know Spurg's MVP. Oh, Luciv narrowly whiffs it, but is it gonna matter? Oh, ambitious from Bush.
Bush!
Ambitious from Bush. Control with a nice little S key there to not get knocked up. Yeah. Although, I mean, the max range knockup would have been for like 2 seconds. He would have died if it hit.
Yeah, you're right. If Braum ult had an
Braum ult is a
range.
long cooldown in the early game, though.
I don't know.
It's like a minute 40 or something.
You get the way Bush plays his champions. Like he just is able. If half of them hit, he's playing the numbers game. He is an actuary.
You miss every one you don't hit.
He's betting that half his abilities will hit, and they'll find their way from there. The rest of it is kind of bonus points. And
absolutely.
Shockwave came down just for a little damage and wave clear. Control just really not being allowed to play his own lane here. As we can see another Rift Herald, 2 Drakes, 2 Heralds over to Calvert, just running
minutes,
in the early game.
At the same time, he's against a Nautilus jungle right now, and to Rick's credit, like, he's right there on farm. He might not have had the lane impact yet, but Nautilus is always going to be a useful champion. Like, you have point and click CC on a mobile ADC on the other side, and we're about to see that right now.
here comes the ultimate. Is able to catch Lucid with the dredge line onto Bush League as well. Bush falling very low. Is able to walk away, but does go down. Control picking up that kill onto Bush. Luciv looking to trade back, but ultimately just not enough damage there. Calbert coming into cover, and with the Drake spawning very soon, would like to see BMS show some signs of life and get control of this river. I think that's exactly what they'll do.
Oh, I was going to say, Rick just walked over Pinkwood.
Different game.
Honestly, there's not many better feelings than being completely justified live on air. As I was talking about how Rick hadn't had a lot of impact yet, but Nautilus is always going to be good with that ult. And then we saw exactly how that played out.
Look,
and that's really all Rick has to do in these fights.
We can talk about, like, oh, this comp looks better on paper and all that, but, like, at the end of the day, there's a human element to all games of League. And if you just get caught out in the wrong spot, it's very easy for Nautilus to catch you.
It's a canine element. Most of these players are dogs.
That's possible too, but you know, it's sometimes we're for all the dogs.
Silas takes Malphite ult here.
Yeah,
Blood TPing in after taking the turret, gonna fight for this Drake. Let's see something big from Sandy. He's looking for the flank.
Yeah, I think this could be really bad. We'd like to see BMS just back up and give. I know this can make it a lot, and it's going to feel pretty awful. Sato comes down as a nasty Malphite ult onto both carries. You can see the tanks are up front, really holding their own, but the damage is falling off from behind. Speedy having to kite. Silas is falling very low. Irep with a nasty 3-man headbutt pulverized, which is not
the double stun you were talking about.
Bush League is so freaking low, but can control kill him. Irep actually able to finish that kill off. Luciv is actually taking some Drake.
Dragon's still not dead.
Drake not falling down, and
the Blood is chasing Speedy to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, can I just say, the mid and top, I've been very positive tonight, just want to point that out, but mid and top of Snakerdoodles completely just chasing the shiny object. Shiny object syndrome kicking in, just like
it would have been a 4-for-1 if they had, or actually a 4-for-0. Bush wouldn't have died. Oh, but Sandy finds one. Goes for the big one.
Ooh, you know, you should have just stopped at one.
Hey, you missed. Oh my gosh, he worked.
Look at that. He got
How'd that even happen?
Yeah, this is a rough one. I gotta say, 3
that's results-based
Drakes
analysis right there. He did the right thing.
Yeah, true. and can I just say, 3 Drakes at not even 19 minutes. Huge testament to Calbert's early game passing. He just knows what he wants, knows what wins games. In control, finding an ult there, shut down on Sandy, maybe a little overzealous on the Silas. It's sometimes very easy on a champion like that to feel like just you're unkillable and then get yourself killed.
Yeah, it does stink to have the 600 gold go on to Nautilus instead of the Orianna in a comp that is lacking so much damage. But yeah, I mean, Sandy got the full flank there with no vision. Like, they had nothing on the flanks there. Completely came out of the dark. And honestly, I was too busy watching him. I didn't even see what Music did with his ult. I'm going to guess he got in their faces, but because Sandy was on the back line, there was just no follow-up.
Yeah, just not enough there, and yeah, the tanks actually I thought did a pretty respectable job. It's just they weren't able to keep Sandy off their backline, and because of that, there just was no damage to follow up. I think next time you can test a Drake like that, honestly, that team fight looked a little bit better than I thought it would for BMS. Like, just send someone off.
They take a while to kill.
Yeah, send someone off to the side though to check Sandy. If you can keep him out of the fight, it's huge. Even if it's just Ira. Off to the side checking Sandy, they may actually be able to win a 4-on-4.
They're going to dive on mid, but TP's coming in.
Yeah, teleport from Sandy coming in right behind. He's finding an angle right on the control. Control shotgun is down. Speedy actually living so far, but it's a massacre in favor of Snakerdoodles. That is 3 kills already going their way. Should mean an immediate Baron. Speedy forced to run away.
Yeah, I mean, the side of Snakerdoodle is it's not taking that game 1 loss lying down. I don't know if they've given up. Oh, I guess they've given up bot turret. That's the only thing on the map so far that Calbert has deigned to sacrifice over the course of this game thus far. Also, Speedy whipped his ult in that fight. We all saw it. And now he's going to die for the attempted Dragon Steal.
Oh, yeah. You know, I don't hate that. You need a miracle in this spot, it feels like. You're down 14-4. 3 Drakes, lots of gold. Baron probably coming down. If you steal that Baron, it's a huge pickup, even if you lose the game.
Buys a lot of time.
Yeah,
it's a morale booster, for sure.
Yeah, it's a big team victory. You're probably laughing it off, too, so... Gotta say, I felt good about the Swifty Boots on IREP. Swifty Boots on Speedy, however, I'm a little suspect of.
That's what we expect out of that bot lane.
Yeah, actually, they're just they're walking in like Will Ferrell and Ben
I
Stiller.
mean, what do you want him to buy? Just Berserkers? He doesn't need more attack speed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not, man. I don't know. It's just funny. They're wearing matching Nikes. It's interesting. But
I didn't even hear that the first round. That's great. I love that.
Yeah. You know, you gotta do what you can do sometimes. Match the shoes, color code the items, and hopefully you find a winning build in there. But honestly, just a awesome looking game. Not too much to talk about here. A huge turnaround from Snakerdoodles to after that game 1 loss.
Yeah,
you know,
blood looking more like the blood we'd expect.
Well, also just look at the tank line in this game versus last game. They've got people in front of them now to eat the engage, and it's paying a ton.
The top laner has the most kill participation for the side of the Snakerdoodles. Like that's nuts. That just goes to show like Blood's map awareness and his willingness to give up a wave to go and help his team win across the map.
Shout out to Blood. I think traditionally when we've seen him in the top lane, obviously back in top lane this season after playing mid last season, he usually ends up being this sort of lane-oriented player. This game, he's just moving. This series, he's moving around the map and creating leads in other ways besides just his lane, and it's paying off for his team really well.
I mean, they're doing a little 1-2-2 push at the moment, hovering between the jungles. I think there's probably a window for BMS to groove and pick a fight in one of these split lanes.
Yeah.
But it seems like Cal and Sandy also control.
Oh,
Snake. Spotted out by the blue.
Yeah, thought it out a little bit here, and yeah, I agree with you. You got to find a fight here somewhere. Maybe miss the opportunity. You can see the ultimate coming through by Calvert. I think that was a
buy-in time for the turret, maybe.
But there's the turret. I don't think I'd be throwing
it made him back
Sedge
off.
ults.
It made him back off.
There will be no Sedge ult in Radiant in advance of Drake, which will feel a little bad. But
Radiant's such a good item, man.
Yeah, I love that item.
Disgusting.
So, oh, he doesn't have Radiant. He has Jock Show. Never mind.
Okay.
I don't like that, but
yeah, Radiant's so good.
Yeah, Radiant's
He's just gonna be even more unkillable then.
You know what?
Are they just giving soul here? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't think they can contest it anyway. Maybe just looking for a pick with a bounty or something. One thing, if you've never tried it,
they're just. It doesn't matter. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say Radiant plus Redemption on tank junglers feels awesome. You heal so much, and it's just like such a cheap third item to throw into your build. Huge edge
Radiant's
there.
not cheap. Radiant's not cheap.
No, I mean, but it's no more expensive than the other tank mythics, and then you turn around and you get
not if
stack
you're
of
support
Redemption on top. And then oh yeah, true. If you're support, you build your cheap items. You
I love being fed on Rakan because that lets me build Radiant, and it's just such a different game.
It is awesome. There's a whole like a couple supports in pro play who will just like not buy control wards, not upgrade boots, run magical boots, just so they can get to Radiant on Rakan.
Yeah, it's so expensive though. I mean, it changes how you play, but we don't have to go into the Rakan analysis right now. We'll save that for when I pull it out at some point this season.
Yeah, definitely can hold it till then.
Sandy just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, Rick and Control just trying to hold on to their lane. Sandy with the Chemtech Soul, I think can maybe just 1v2 this. You can see the ultimate from the Nautilus coming down, but Sandy not taking any damage. Dredgeline does actually connect onto Sandy Snake. He is ticking down slowly here, but has that Chemtech Soul and is silent.
What is Chemtech damage reduction? Is that what it is?
It's damage reduction and more damage than I think 40% HP. But we can see here the fight onto the top side. The ultimate just whips, but Elusive's ultimate over the top is going to mean a stun and a kill on a Speedy Bandito. That's 2 now onto music, jazz music. IREP, not long for this world as well, is going to go down. DC. Bush League securing that kill, 3 for nothing. Pushing through the top lane, and this should pretty much just be all she wrote.
That looked crazy
down in the top side.
I don't know if you saw the same thing I did, but it looked like the Sejuani ult connected and the flash was so late, and it looked like the Ashe ult missed, but I guess it hit.
Yeah, the Ashe
call that right, Cody.
Oh, big ult! Big shockwave cut down Tiny Rick. Microscopic Rick, I mean. Shockwave traded back. Sandy says, I can do it better.
He calls that word. He calls that word.
They're not ending this game here. That's crazy. They are going to back up. I thought they just did that so they could
Varus
end.
and Ali are back up. I mean, Luciv just inted under Nexus turrets to finish it off
Yeah.
and get the literal last second ace before the ADC respawn.
I
But
don't know if the 1-in-4 or 1-in-4 Oriana is worth giving your bounty over, but
he gave it to Nautilus. Nautilus
Did
has
he
gotten
really?
yeah, it went to Nautilus. Yeah.
And Nautilus is rich as hell, man. This Nautilus is loaded. Why'd he go support at him? He's got gold for days.
Yeah.
Off of all these shutdowns. But yeah, it should just mean Baron here spawning very soon. Inhib broken in the top side. Some great team fighting on all. With some, maybe overzealous chase out elusive there at the end from Snakerdoodles. And it should just mean a 1-to-1 series unless BMS has anything to say about it.
I mean, they got the dive comp, right? The problem now is there's too many threats. You can't blow them all up. Like Ashe, sure, she can die easy. She does have flash, or Luciv does have flash. Sorry. But I mean, Sandy's just gonna kill whoever he wants. Like some of these tanks can take care of him. Control's not gonna one-shot him. And if Speedy would like to get into auto attack range, I'm sure Sandy would be more than happy to flash on him.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you there. You can see some trading between two bruisers. No killing gonna happen there. Irip has roamed down to try to maybe find a pick on the blood, but it does just mean Baron is uncontested, going over to the side of Snakerdoodles, and now it should just be all but, it's an exercise here in ending a game. How quickly can you end a game, and how, you don't want to make this one take long. The ones that are like this, you just want to win.
That didn't break the shield.
Move to the next one. This Malphite is gigantic. Blood does have the hull breaker though, so he isn't going to drop easy, and not everyone can tank him the same way this Malphite can, but he is falling pretty low, is going to eat back, but does unfortunately get the W onto music.
Look what's happening to their base right now.
Before, but meanwhile, in the mid lane, a complete stomp, 2 kills already.
Oh, and they don't even kill him.
Albert, and Blood is completely alive. Does actually give his life here. It looks like, no, not even giving his life.
No.
Just straight up killing Speedy.
What was
and now
Speedy thinking? That
4 members are dead. I think he's thinking he has to get back or it's over.
But the other two walked. I don't know. That was kind of rough. You got to calm your backs there. I mean, Blood's still gonna go in. It doesn't matter. The game was gonna end either way. That's just an interesting way for Speedy to send it out at the end. Yeah, I mean, just they tried to make the play on the solo laner, could not kill him, overcommitted, and the other 4 walked down the mid lane with the Baron and closed that one out, which brings us to a game 3, the third game 3 of the week. Every single series has gone to 3 games.
Yeah, it's hype, man. I'm excited.
What a
for
series!
It. What a series indeed. I think just a little bit too creative in the draft here, maybe, and just a one-side domination, taking what they're given and running with it. Awesome to see from Snakerdoodles here. As we can talk about this a little bit more just after this break. Awesome stuff going back and forth, 1-to-1 between these two teams. We'll see it here for Game 3 in just 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have an awesome series. A game 3 in week 1, game 3 of TCL season 7 has been the story of the whole week. Everyone's going to game 3. We're keeping it interesting. We're going all night. I'm Bully. This is Rudy. Rudy, how you feeling?
Dude, I am feeling great. As I mentioned to you, I've just been snacking on my pomegranate seeds all night, putting up my advice for the teams, and honestly, I've been very impressed with the caliber of play that we've seen out of some of the players, and a little bit let down based on what I've come to expect from past seasons from others. So I'm looking forward to see how the teams adapt, maybe what sort of adjustments they make to the draft to come out with this series victory. As you mentioned, this is the third of 3 series to go to a game 3. I'd expect nothing else than TCL, and it's electric in here, man. It's electric.
Yeah, awesome to see how close these week 1 matchups are. And yeah, I think this game is going to really tell a lot. Last game with Counterpick, they were able to secure a pretty awesome matchup in the mid lane. I want to see what they can do because I don't think they necessarily benefit a ton from now having that red side. Like, yeah, Music will see his matchup. He saw it last game too. He couldn't really find it. He did fine in the lane. I would say even won it from what it should be, but didn't really end up mattering and not able to carry the same way he did in that game 1. I want to see some adaptation out of both bot lanes really because the story has not been either side's bot lane.
That's true.
And I think that's kind of wild. Like
Like
you would
they
see these
filled their
bot lanes,
role, but they haven't carried.
yeah, you would see these bot lanes as some of the better ones on paper, right? And like so far, neither sort of has become like any part of the story in how this has played out, right? Like it's been Calvert smurfing it in the jungle, or it's been Music carrying through top lane. Like would like to see both bot lanes really step it up and find ways to create more plays for themselves to get really big leads and really influence the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely agree with you. The bot lanes have, as I said, they've been filling a role. Like the team that's winning the bot lane is doing some damage, and the other one's like looking to stay alive and try to kill one of the tanks that are fed. But in general, we haven't seen the pop-offs that we saw earlier in this week from players like, it's not Swiss, like Waj and Toasty and Ryoklu, and who's the other ADC? Oh yeah, Tail Whip, that guy, the one I always forget about.
That dork.
He's pretty
yeah.
forgettable though, so it's fine.
Yeah. Definitely pretty forgettable indeed. Don't like that guy. Wish I could forget him more often, but we got the same bands off the rip. LeBlanc, never gonna happen. I will say, I shouldn't leak that. Never mind. I won't say it.
No, go ahead.
No, I can't. It compromised something. But interesting to me that Jacob, just can't get control, can't get his LeBlanc ever.
You think he's washed? You think he's washed?
I don't think he's washed. I just think it'd be interesting to see. I think some bands need.
These are back to the G1 bands with the sides flipped again.
Yeah, we're right back to it. I think that makes sense. Maybe they valued the Nautilus. Quite frankly, I think Rick said something like, "Hey, IREP, wouldn't it be so funny if we picked Nautilus first and then revealed it to be a flex to be jungle, and that'll be our whole gimmick for blue side."
Yeah, I mean, Rick's a pretty chill dude, and IREP probably said, "Yeah, sure."
Hell yeah, let's do it. And that was
I love that.
And it didn't work.
That.
This is awesome.
Sedge ripped in.
Quite frankly,
Cal looked great on it.
Yeah, not only did it look great, Blood can play this champion. Blood does not dislike Sejuani top.
Interesting.
Actually,
I hadn't thought about that.
He runs it with TP Ignite. I've seen him play this, right? He's not going to want to because it's a tank, But this is new blood. This is chill blood. This is I don't care blood. Is
Yeah,
what he called himself. He said, I'm not carrying this season. We'll see if it helps me. So maybe he is willing to do it.
Oh,
Ash,
they've ruined our
meanwhile,
Freylord comp. What are they doing?
They're breaking up the Freljord. You know, you see the 5-star unit, you buy it so the other guy can't get it. Did I do the TFT right? You
Yes,
get the
good
Ash?
job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. All right.
Ash has never been a 5-cost unit, but you tried, and you did a good job, Bully.
They took the piece. Yeah, thank you. I did my best. Yeah, so they got the Ash here. I think that was actually probably pretty annoying for them in the bot lane. And honestly, just like, you can track a Sejuani pretty darn easily.
They stole
they're
the
just
full bot
straight
lane.
stealing the bot lane.
Okay,
All right.
now if they got balls, they're going to go Alistar or Varus just to have fun.
That would be wild.
Come on, guys. Everyone makes playoffs. Just do it.
I don't think taking the comp you just beat into the comp you just won with is
I don't think that was a bot
necessarily
diff, though.
the
You don't
best
think so
play.
either.
I don't think so either, but I don't think the other side of that was a winning lane. I think, it
If
tells
this
you all
gets
you
locked,
need to know.
this is the earliest I've ever seen Blood pick a champion when
This
he's
is a
playing top.
completely new Bloodbath and Beyond.
Yeah,
Can we just
I
say
have
that?
never seen him pick a
My
champion
guy-
in the first 3.
My guy's got his ego in his back pocket, not
Yeah,
not
he's like,
out
you guys
for
want late
everything.
picks? Have them. I don't need them.
He pocketed that shit. He's playing Renekton off,
I mean,
Two. We got
Okay.
Styra for Bush League. Okay.
That is his like pocket.
Can I say I like this pick a decent amount into Braum because Braum is not really capable of
Zyra's gonna be
forcing
so
very hard.
annoying.
Yeah, and the other thing is the way Calbert is playing these games. I've duoed considerably with Bush, like a ton of games this season, and like whatever we call the first 6 months of the year that was like its own season. Bush is very good with the Zyra at just moving 2 objectives and helping you take them very quick.
Yeah.
And seeding them up, and you can clear any neutral very quick. So would love to see that from them, and Gwen here for music.
Okay, so they're going for the color scheme this time. Again, not matching regions. Gwen obviously being... I'm waiting for you to say it, Billy, because I know you know it.
What the heck is Gwen's like a doll with scissors?
Shadow Isles. Shadow Isles is the region. But yeah, Gwen is a terrifying champion. I hate seeing it in games because it's always on the enemy team, and honestly, it just does so much damage. It's so hard to kill, to lock down, to kill. Life steals forever, does a bazillion damage. It's definitely one of those 200 years ones. But yeah, they ban out the Silas here, which I think is smart. I doubt we're going to see the Malphite Renekton, or we're definitely not going to see the Malphite Renekton mirror again, but you are taking a melee off the table. We talked about how well Cal was doing, and he did a great job being in the right position, but it didn't hurt that he had 3 other people that could stack his stun, right? Like, that helped a ton. And I doubt we're going to see 2 more melees, which means going from 3 melees to 1 will make the Sejuani a little bit less value, but still a solid pick.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of the Sedge was the way he was able to gank top. That still exists. Renekton, awesome pairing for him.
Amazing setup, yeah.
But then turn around and pair it into early Drake control, and I think that's all still the same. Like, we still haven't seen the jungle pick. Probably looks like Maokai, maybe.
Okay, that's going to be a Maokai support, and it's going to go Braum jungle.
God. I mean, everyone makes playoffs, man. Do what you want to do. But
No.
Shot for
I
every
love
time we made that
Maokai
stupid
jungle.
joke.
So much value, but also, does that not force them into an AD mid? Or are
Please
they
don't
not
pick
worried
Sivir
about
into
itemizing
Braum.
the top half?
Please don't pick Sivir into Braum. We can think about basic interactions, Luciv. I know you've been gone. I know you play TFT now. But Braum has a shield. He just, like, blocks the Sivir. It's actually that... You don't need to think that much harder. This is like the counter you pick into Sivir. You pick the Braum, it blocks the Ricochet. So that's an interesting one. I mean, obviously you got good interactions versus the Braum stun, but
Nah,
not a
Luciv's
big
just here to
fan.
farm. He's going to have Bush do all the work in lane.
I swear you'd think he's still playing TFT the way he's walking into some of these games, man. He's like, these characters can play themselves, right? Like, I don't got to do too much. But
That is why I like TFT.
yeah,
Mechanics don't matter. It's just the setup.
it is pretty relaxing to play. You got like
That's great.
30 minutes at lunch, just queue a TFT. But
Yeah,
we see
TCL TFT win.
Tristana. Is that Tristana mid for control? I think it is.
I like that. If you
awesome.
index too hard into magic damage on the top side, Renekton Sedge get Merc Treads, and you're just a lot less effective in the 2v2, the 3v3 skirmishes that are going to happen, right? I think you need the AD, and Gwen definitely opens you up to pick whatever you want there. So yeah, I like the Tristana. This is like the 5th Tristana we've seen in the 9 games this week or something like that. Definitely seen a lot of presence, but this is the first mid Tristana we've seen, I believe.
I mean, I didn't watch yesterday's game, but I believe it. Mid Tristana is a real menace, man. If you play into that champion, you can really feel it. It's bad, and Azir is a matchup that can probably handle it, but I would like to see Rick maybe path into Azir. If you can get Azir early game to WEQ, like do the full shuffle combo away from you because he has to run, you can burn his mana very quick. He almost has to teleport. They've made that ability combo so costly early.
Which one? I'm sorry.
The full shuffle away combo, like WEQ. That the mana cost of that alone is so substantial. You can really ruin his early laning phase and force him to reset there. So would like to see Rick force that there, and honestly just want to see how Control looks on this pick. It is something he played back in Season 5 when he was with us. Played a little bit of Trist mid there. I think he was always pretty darn good at it, and Control's just a great player, so trust him to pilot that. And Sandy, obviously, flip side, super comfort, Azir, you're scaling, you're just saying, hey, look, game 3, everyone's tired, let's lock in the most scaling-oriented comp we can and try to find a very just stable, fundamental win late in the night.
You know, I really like the Zyra for the lane, but I just don't like Bush specifically on like mages and enchanters when we get out of lane, you know?
I don't like him on the in lane, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
But
the Gambit is live. Get your Silver Scrapes bets in right now. Bully, who you putting your money on?
It's honestly a tough one.
It really is, isn't it?
Man,
you know, go ahead.
Teetering towards BMS, but the way Calvert is pathing makes it so hard to not want to vote for Calvert. Calvert is pathing exactly the way I think any jungler should. It's just simple. It makes sense. You don't gotta do too much. You don't gotta do 50 Lee Sin insects to win yourself a game. You just gotta path as a tank towards an objective. I'm voting Calvert's team. I take it back. I'm going Snakerdoodles, as much as I hate to say it. Just because,
I'll be honest. I just put my bet in while you were talking. There are two factors that really tilted me over the edge here because I don't have a problem with either team comp here. I think both can function like on paper, but I think Gwen is a disgusting champion. I don't think either of these teams are going to close early, especially with the picks they have, right? Like Azir, Sivir definitely need time to scale. Tristana, Ashe, Maokai, like not going to necessarily put the most pressure on you. So it's the Gwen factor on one side, and then again, I just like prove me wrong, Bush. Like I want you to prove me wrong here. But I don't have enough confidence in you yet to have faith that you're going to like crush this the way you need to on the Zyra over the course of this third game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all you're saying. I'm just, man, the way Calvert is playing in the jungle is, I think, just smart. And I'm gonna bet.
Oh yeah, nothing against him. It's
I don't think this is one.
Champ's stupid.
You just can't point at I agree with you on all that. I don't think either side has won or lost this draft, so I'm just going to give it to the team I just saw win the game, I think, in the most convincing fashion. Yeah. And agree with you, though. Like,
We're split on it, and so is the gamble in the chat. It's 48-52 BMS right now.
Yeah.
So we're all excited to see what happens here.
Yeah, completely heads up as we are jumping here onto the Rift. I think stream just died, so...
Yeah, stream died, Abarn.
I cannot see the game, but hopefully we'll get there in a second.
Not the Twitch stream, our stream. Discord.
Do we have Abarn?
I'm sure we do. He's getting it figured out.
Alright, well, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say,
we're back in it. We didn't miss anything.
What is Elusive doing here? Sivir? Ezreal with just a little cues. Ezreal's his champ, but like... Man, checking himself out of here of a game 3, I feels like. On the, now, cleanse Sivir. There's a there's a place in hell for people who run cleanse on Sivir. Like, these people just don't want to have fun, I guess. I get it, you're into Ashe. But like,
you know how like most people, like we got the speedy wifito buff in the chat? Elusive doesn't have his wife buff. You know, he went and got married, but he left all the power at home. She's just not online cheering for him.
Yeah,
Okay, I really like the respect from Bush here. Like the ward and then just running away. He's on Zyra. He knows that if he gets tagged, he's just dead.
Just said, all right, I'll fight it. There goes my trinket. He's gonna get some support.
Oh, GG. That's like 9 gold, baby.
Yeah, he's loaded up. I can tell you play Leona because it's definitely not 9 gold. You don't play
It's 20 gold for the spell
Yeah,
boost proc. I saw the 3 gold for the plant dying on the other side, so it's actually
Oh,
only a
oh.
17 gold difference.
Minions have
There you go.
spawned.
Yeah, see, that's what I said.
I play Xerath support.
You're here for the math.
I know how to poke.
We got some, just baby level 1 stuff here. Nothing really surprising. Gotta say, like the way that Red side is using the level 1s. I know I kind of critique some of the deep vision, but I like that they're at least trying.
Kind of
right?
critique. You flamed it 2 games in a row.
Yeah, look, I don't think it was super additive, but I like that they're doing it. It is one of those things that when you're not just in a tank mirror matchup, which, I mean, spoiler, not every jungle in this league. Just smite the camp. Oh, he's so scared Zyra's gonna take it. Just see that? Calvert's just like, we've all been there. I always smite the buff when I'm with the Zyra. It's like, alright.
It would have been so funny, too.
Let's just keep going.
That's the
I feel
content
like
I needed.
you almost end up wasting more time every time just waiting there to awkwardly Sejuani auto it down, and the risk is there, so I always just smite it, but probably not what a skillful player would do, but that's why I do it instead. Trading here onto the top side, didn't really talk enough, I think, about this Gwen matchup. I agree with you. Gwen, turbo broken champ, don't like this champ at all. I don't know how this matchup plays at all. It doesn't actually seem to me to be that big of a counter in favor of Gwen. I think just a big skill matchup here between the two. And
paying a lot of respect.
yeah, so far, Music getting the better of him, hitting that level 2 and just crashing the wave and trading hard.
What does that to give up? I mean, a decent amount of CS, honestly. That's like the 4th one I've seen fall, just making sure it doesn't get sniffed too early, and is able to take those like level 2, level 3 trades that Renekton can do so easily, like Ian, WQ, get out. Kind of hard to counterplay those.
Yeah, definitely true. So we see Shove in all 3 lanes, actually, in favor of BMS right now. Should have basically universal prio. I think this is going to be maybe a bit of a test for Calvert. Can you create opportunities to get that prio? Because I don't think he'll be able to play the same way he's just done, right? Like, he can't just walk at a Drake this game without putting his team in a really awkward spot to try and match, right? Like, they may have to give a wave to come and catch or something like that. Like, you got to be a bit more creative this time. You don't just have winning lanes. You're not jungling into Nautilus. Like, this is a champion that can clear pretty well against you. And
Cal is ahead on the clear here, though.
What are you
He's
gonna
get
do?
the Scuttle first when it spawns here in a second, while Maokai is still finishing up his Krugs.
Yeah.
Gonna clean that, and I really wouldn't want him to look top here. He knows that Renekton doesn't have prio, so just like maybe look through mid, take that Scuttle, and try to double it up,
Yeah, 100% agree
Oh,
here. And
Cal.
already snagged the Scuttle Crab and is... no one saw
Just
him
back,
here.
dude, just back.
No one saw
Just
him
back.
at all here. He knows exactly where they
Oh,
are.
he's going for the counter.
Yeah, he's gonna look mid. I don't know if this is worth it or not. Rick
They don't
is
have the
doing...
damage.
Rick also just like walked to his Krugs, skipped them to go to the crab,
Yeah, wait, what?
and then didn't get the crab.
There's
and then
blood
bot
in the-
lane, just a straight 2v2 kill in favor of the stolen homework bot lane that is Speedy and IREP here.
Cleanse and Flash blown, and he still died.
Yeah, can you imagine running those sums and dying in lane? That's crazy, by the way.
Okay, relax.
That's crazy. Nah, like I said, there's a place in hell for people who play Sivir with cleanse. That's like such dork stuff, but what are you gonna do? Is Music here trading? I think pretty ill-timed. You're gonna take a lot of
there's a
minion aggro
Renekton
here.
that I expect. You got to get a couple levels there,
Yeah.
and you're able to just do what you want for a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the Gwen's gonna scale to the moon, but I mean, Blood showing himself off real well here in the early laning phase.
Also, shout out Blood playing the wave, I think, well. Blood, historically, the one weakness in his game you could kind of point to is, yeah, he'll dominate you. He's a mechanically good player, but once he gets ahead, he just crashes waves. And so far, he actually just built a beautiful slow push wave, traded effectively at the right time when he had it behind him, didn't trade before he had it there, and was able to cost Music some farm there and build himself a little bit of a farm lead. And a pressure advantage here in top lane by creating it. So well done by him, showing he's kind of rounded out his game a little bit more. And honestly, even though Music got the better of him in the first game and people are going to focus in on that, like, Blood looks like a more complete top laner than I think we've seen him before.
I think it's a little early to say that, right? It's not that we've seen Blood set up for freeze, so be patient.
True. That would be a whole nother layer to it. He's not
But
that patient.
at the same time, I agree. I think honestly, like part of the philosophy for Blood is the players in this league are bad, right? If you crash waves, they're just gonna fall so far behind on CS. It's not the okay. Calvert being very patient here.
Just killed Music, and yeah, Calvert is able to find the gank into the bot side. Flash out of IREP. Speedy may have to match.
Got Ghost.
Not quite. Just the Ghost used. Actually doesn't have flash at all, so hopefully doesn't have to. As we see Calvert coming back in. Bush League dropped very low in response.
Dude, I wanted to see Cal like flash Q there when it came back up, because you know they both just blew their mobility sums.
Yeah. Meanwhile, by the way,
Speedy blew his flash on the first blood. But yeah, solo kill.
Getting completely out of control. Yeah, top lane, just Blood turned this wave on its head. It looked early laning phase like it was going really well for Music, and then just not respecting the stacked wave into him. I understand it's getting late and stuff. People are tired and stuff like that. But he's West Coast. He has no excuse.
Yeah. Alts were traded in that top lane kill, but Blood was like full health at the end there, which makes you think he just ulted to cancel the animation and make sure that it was quick in and out.
Yeah, really well played by him, and it is going to mean he has an edge in the side lane. I think the side lane could.
Yeah, no jungle to steal it this time, right?
Yeah, true. Just get it yourself if you don't want me to take it. I don't get it. Top laners will complain about anything, man, but if you don't want me to take the kill, you better just do it yourself.
Yeah, if I have to come there, the tax is the death.
Yeah, and the cannon and everything. You know, that's the best part of Briar sometimes. I know I've talked too much about Briar, but
you have an excuse for chaos.
Yeah, it's like, sorry guys. Sorry guys, I can't stop. It's my
Oh no, I hit my ult, I have to go in.
Wowie, I'm stuck here hitting your wave.
It's the ultimate excuse.
As we see right now, Calvert trying to set up for this Drake. Bush able to get some chunk back onto him, but I think I would like to see Rick force a Drake here. Like, create Drake pressure here. You know the jungle is bot, that's okay. There's no ports
at the top.
You have
so much prio mid.
Yeah, you have prio mid and prio bot. And there's no ports at the top, which is the only lane that's going, you know, the other team's way right now. So just create that Drake, but instead he's pathing into top side. Don't love this. There's no camps up.
I mean,
honestly not sure what is he ganking top? Did he just walk all the way from bot, skip all his camps? There's no way this is a gank top. This is some crazy jungling out of Rick. What are we doing here?
I mean, Blood has flash and ult up right now.
He could double kill him here. This is...
He needs his cooldowns back.
Music went He's gonna have them early here too. You see Blood immediately pops the Dominus. They actually do find a stun on the Blood. Blood's pretty low, but the flash Q means he gets the kill, should get Triumph immediately and just walk away. Yeah.
Very got low, but he had the full Fury from the ult stacked up. That Q was juicy.
And now, by the way, look bot. The cost of that play is not just a kill. The cost of that play is Calvert can walk with two lanes that shouldn't have priority here, and just take this. It is well done by Rick to trade back on the top side control. Smart player immediately saying, hey, Drake is chalk, let's go get this, but that's a real head scratcher. That tells me he's new to the role, right? Like,
I mean, it could have been, let's be fair, it could have been Music calling for the gank. He could have said, like, we got a chance here, Blood's perma-shove like Blood does, you know? It's a possibility.
Fair.
But, like, as a jungler, you got to be able to call off your laner.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the hard part, right? Like, you hear your laner asking, it's tempting to just say, okay, I'll come right now, but yeah, you gotta clear
He's had a good series. Everybody's allowed a mistake. It's all good.
100% agree.
Very recoverable. You know, that Renekton's gonna be a problem. Stop ganking the Renekton. There's more kills to be had bot lane anyway, and a lot of setup between Ashe Braum. Like, a lot of long-range setup to get you in there, and Maokai R as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And just shout out, by the way, to Snakerdoodles too, immediately saying, hey, by the way, their jungle's top. Let's go snag this Drake. Even though it wasn't an obvious one, right? Like, that's not one you're planning for. You're just saying, hey, there's a window that we didn't think we'd have. Let's go get it. And they get it.
Blood keeping up his impressive KP this game too.
Big win for them. And yeah, 100% KP for Blood right now. Blood just... I think Blood had a rough game one, but, you know, even then battled back.
Yeah, he didn't have the matchup he wanted, I think.
Yeah, I think the matchup was rough. The context of the game was pretty hard for him to play, and still got pretty strong in that game anyway. And then, yeah, game 2 and 3 here has been kind of all Blood. He's just tearing it up right now on this Renekton.
He's doing his thing. A lot of vision through the top side river for red side, sorry. Sedge is going to be able to clear that. Tristana's on a back right now, which has some prio, but Maokai is coming top with that ult. It is going to hit? Yeah.
Yeah, Dominus popped.
Need a big Q here.
A gigantic Q here. And with Calvert over the top, actually shutdown does go over to Music And Rick here able to body block off of
Sandy
Calvert.
coming in.
Sandy Snake is coming in. Can he find the kill? The shuffle away, but immediately matched. Oh! And a trade kill by Rick onto Calvert. That feels great, honestly. Two kills to 1 in favor of BMS. And yeah, that shutdown on the music is going to be huge for him in this laning phase.
Evened it all back up in terms of kills. Gold also neck and neck. In the bot lane, we are seeing them just shove back and forth into each other. But you left Tristana alone with time on the tower for the cost of going top
that's
for
huge.
the kill. Tristana just ripping place right now with her bomb.
Yeah,
Not that Sandy doesn't get a couple back on the top, but Tristana takes him much faster than Azir at this point.
I don't even... He may have got 8.
He got 2.
Yeah, Triss got 2 here, and now you got the Herald coming immediately mid. This is going to mean almost a full turret here. As Blood actually steps up, doesn't have that ultimate, remember, from the top side. He is pretty low, but a massive heal. I think that's completed Gore Drinker as well over the top. So he is unkillable. Yeah, there's the Gore Drinker coming through. So with the 3-man proc on that, he is pretty darn difficult to kill. Bush League and Calvert here trying to support and protect their turret. I think if they chunk this out enough, they are actually able to save it a little bit, but
that's 2 autos.
Just gonna top it off here with the kill, and we can see Calvert hit by the Ash Arrow, not able to drop the turret fast enough though to follow up. Ultimately just means first turret dead here in the mid lane is gonna pay dividends later in the game. That turret is really important to segueing pressure for these neutral objectives.
You get that pushed out, you get vision.
Oh
big
my goodness,
Zyra,
massive damage from Bush. Yeah, they are able to find a ton of trade damage. The Twisted Advance is cast out just to try to buy time, but Rick is going to go down. Calvert getting the credit for that kill. Luciv running forward with the Sivir ult. Can he find a trade kill back into Irap? Irap jumping very low, but not quite able to find it. Could still mean he is not flashing for that, but here is Calvert getting an immediate kill.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we got naughty words in our ears, and Calvert getting a kill, 2 kills I think out of this play. Calvert, I gotta say, takes way too many kills to Sejuani, but I love it.
Like, I mean, hey, somebody had to get that kill there.
He is a battle boar, and I don't
mind
love
that.
it. I respect the hell out of it. 2 kills for him on the Sejuani, 2-1, him and Blood. So just a beefy front line, and shout out Bush there, by the way. The Zyra damage, unreal. They face checked the wrong
you got like
Bush.
2 flashes there.
Yeah, face checked the wrong Bush, and everyone was like a third health as soon as that ultimate came through. So really, really well done by him, showing why he made this.
They're gonna have double Leandries, I think.
Yeah.
Zyra's got to build Leandries.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, and that's okay. It stacks now, so it's.
Oh,
it's
it does.
Yeah, it stacks at reduced effect.
Okay. So it's not wasted. It's just not as good.
Yeah, it's definitely still worth doing, and it's honestly pretty strong when paired together into the right amount of HP.
How about double Kraken? Does Kraken stack?
What? Yeah.
That was a joke. That was a joke, everyone. I'm not that dumb. Okay, producer in my ear has absolutely no faith in my knowledge of this game.
I was so confused. I was like,
well, there's double Kraken on the other side. It's supposed to be a joke. The dragon setup coming through for red side here. TP is dropped. Blood will be in on this fight. They are a bit split top bottom right now, but maybe that just turns into a flank. Malkyle's coming in. They're choosing to engage on the 3.
Yeah, they've caught Blood out, but this is a very strong neck, and Gordrinker proc comes through just up. But Blood is actually ticking down to the Ignite. He drops as well as Calvert. I mean, on the flip side, music caught out though by the Zyra ultimate from Bush means he gets the kill there. It's 3.
Chasing down with Sivir ult.
You can see the members of BMS are ticking low. Control trying to stand and deliver, but actually ticks so low. Does go down to the Leandries burn of Sandy.
Go get the dragon, guys. Just go get the dragon.
And now you can turn around, get damage on mid. You can take Drake, whatever you want to do here. With a huge team fight win there for Snakerdoodles, they can take everything and anything.
Yeah, Sandy's big right now. He's going to get this turret as well. He's sitting on his Leandre. He's going to grab a couple more components, and the man is in a position to just do what he wants in this game. You got the Braum and the Maokai and the Gwen, all who are going to want to, well, Maokai and Gwen more so, but a team that's going to fight forward and give you plenty of targets to stab with your soldiers, and he's definitely accelerated into this game with the Azir scaling.
Yeah, and just like that, by the way, I would argue that the much harder scaling team has now gotten 2 Drakes in the early game, so really well done by them to prioritize that objective and push for an even greater scaling edge as that soul starts to come around. And And yeah, just shout out to Sandy, like quietly amassing a massive gold lead here for
Yeah.
himself.
I mean, if we look at it
Well
holistically,
farmed.
the gold lead's what, like 1,500 right now? It's where the gold's at. Like, the gold isn't
Yeah.
on the carries for the side of Snek right now.
And
Also,
you can
Snek is so much fun to say.
Yeah, it is really cool, and also like the
Ah, there's Calvert on an objective. There we go.
yeah, like some people may scoff at the tanks and the bruisers having some of the kills, but like it's actually paying huge dividends. Like Blood's Core Drinker has saved him multiple times, baited in big fights, and we have another one coming right up. Teleport in from Sandy Snake. It is going to be Herald coming over for Snack.
Oh,
Immediate-
narrow miss. Narrow miss.
Yeah, nice shot by Sandy. Don't quite connect it. Wasn't actually flashed up by her. I just missed it, but Control immediately trading with a bot turret. Honestly, that's,
Sandy had flash there. He could have double scooped.
yeah,
Yeah, Sandy's terrible. He really, like, guy's awful at the game.
Oh, we have the
obviously, just ate that Astro to the face.
on to
They are
Sandy.
dead here.
Flashes out, but he is just completely dead. This could be a shutdown going over to, I rep on the Braum.
BD might
Not
die to the
really
burn and the minions. Oh, there's
Guys,
very little
Can you
HP.
see the turret? The turret is very much here. Elusive trying to find a trade back to Rick, able to get that onto Elusive. And it means 2 kills to nothing, plus a bot turret going down for the cost of that Rift Out. I'm sorry, 2 kills to 1. IREP did go down there.
Control and Speedy living with no HP there.
Yeah, it's like they can't, I don't know. It's like they didn't see the turret then. They were all just walking into it. Like,
And that basically evens up the gold lead. It's only 1k at this point.
yeah,
And a lot of standing gold for both sides at the moment with the outer turrets. So Dragon lead, I guess, is what we'll focus on in terms of where the lead is. But in terms of just tempo and momentum, it's definitely in the side of Snek right now.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
Still got that Herald in the pocket.
Yeah, I will say though, shout out to Control. If you can get a turret in exchange for a Herald, a second Herald in particular, because you're not getting play gold for it, like it puts the pressure on Calibra to actually get a good value's worth out of that Herald. Because otherwise,
Blood has it, but yeah,
you know, Blood definitely does not have the Herald.
I
But
was wrong.
it's okay. But yeah, puts the pressure on Calvert, like I was saying, to get, you know, a turret's worth out of that Herald, because that's what you gave for it, right? So like, can you get that back, or can you find anything close to that? You know, when you use it, that second Herald a lot harder to use than the first, where you kind of just crash it, take the plates, and smile.
Yeah, you just use it to open up the map, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, it's definitely as you're. Oh wow, Sandy just
kill here.
going in
Yeah.
on music here.
Music is very low,
Gets
and yeah,
him,
Sandy
finishes
just-
it off. Nobody in the area to respond.
Wow, straight up solo killing Music in the side lane. Music, you know, kind of falling apart here on this Gwen pick. Down almost 50 farm, and yeah, Sandy just able to find a kill. He is way too strong to be matched.
Mythics
Five
across
is
the
one
board
right now.
finished. Both supports did go. Well, obviously, like Zyra's gotta go for damage because it'd be
Yeah.
real silly if she built support items. But Braum also went for the Radiant Virtue, which we talked about a bit earlier in this series. Amazing item, really expensive for supports.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah,
this
but-
32 versus like the 26 that they'd normally spend. Calvert, oh, there we go, pinked out. I was gonna say, junglers just clearing each other's pinks.
yeah. I think if you put that value on it, though, like, I mean, it does give you kind of a built-in scaling edge, right? Like, you have a full-size Mystic.
absolutely. Yeah.
All of a sudden, we have Rick dropping the ultimate. It's just going to be spell shielded by Elusive, but Bush actually caught with it with the Ash Arrow over the top. Really well done by Speedy, and he does get that kill onto Bush. Not going to be anything else to follow up with here, but it is going to mean presence over the river as we see this third Drake spawning. Third is pretty much the one we talk about as
IREP
a
is
real
out of
break point.
position here.
Oh boy,
IREP is so out of position.
caught out. If he has flash, he's got to use it now. He can't get to Music. Oh, absolutely can get to Music over the wall. Sejuani also is wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Gotta
love to
save that for
use
the
that
dragon
there,
fight.
and it does mean that they're not going to have that for a Drake fight. I will say Bush will be up in time, held all his sums, and I think his ultimate will be up or will be close to up. It's
Man,
halfway down
IREP
there.
looking like me out there, just completely out of position.
Yeah, but you know, it's okay when you got Radiant. Like, Radiant's kind of like a get out of jail free item. You pop it, you gain so much health. Also, it's like a max health increase, so it's not cut by grievous wounds. Like,
Really?
such a crazy item. Yeah, it's like Lulu ult, where it's like just it increases your health. It's like you just bought a giant's belt or something. Like, cool item and makes things strong. As we see a commit here, flash out of tiny.
Albert's
Rick
okay.
onto a
Dude, just get out though, Cal.
Oh!
I don't think he has
He's
to do that, but he does.
That was one way to do it, but you know,
IREP zoning a lot right now.
out.
Blood choosing not. Oh, he is coming into this fight. They're looking
Smite
for it.
Won by Rick, and yeah, we see damage coming back. IREP is going to drop on one side of the fight, Calvert on the other. Blood has come into this fight, though, teleporting in massive damage in the middle. Music and Blood both actually dropping. Big shuffle by Sandy to protect his backline, but Control is resetting like mad. A triple kill for him is going to go down to Sandy, but immediately be avenged by Speedy on the flip side. A quadra kill for Sandy Snake, but a team fight win and a dragon take for BMS. What a wild one. This is a very close
It does
game.
go down. Exposed in. Silver lining.
It's going to charge here, too. That was honestly very high value out of the Herald. I think they got 2 turrets there, plus Blood started that off by splitting in the top side. And yeah, gold on this Azir is a real problem. Like, Azir
did go the Radiant Virtue this time instead of the Jock Show.
Yeah, okay. I like that a lot. And
Double Radiant Virtue out of the side of BMS. There's no sort of like, you can double that up too. This is the third time this game I brought this up, but
I actually don't know. I don't know how that interacts with each other. If you have 2, yeah, I would think they just heal. You know, they both.
I don't know because like double locket shields don't work anymore.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I don't think there's a debuff on it, but I've never looked. So
We won't find out. But if somebody in the chat wants to tell me, please feel free.
Would like to see Rick buy an Abby mask as this game goes. I think. Or I'm sorry, not. Oh, yeah, you could actually do Abby mask, but I meant to say demonic. I confuse those items a lot. Just
Yeah, you're tanky enough. Get a bit of burn.
A little more magic damage, especially since this Gwen hasn't taken off in quite the way you would want her to. You could just. It'll make
Gwen's doing fine.
Gwen will be a threat in this
Down
game.
50 farm, couple deaths, but
just the burn
it's
and
still in the game.
And that
I see what you're
magic
saying
damage,
though. Yeah.
I think will be very helpful as you set up for drinks. Just period, end of story. Like it'll be good to have those stronger saplings set up in the river as you try to contest the next Drakes or Barons or whatever else is up. Speaking of Baron, I see 2 members sitting around on it. I don't think they're taking it, but watch Bush. Bush is actually is just straight up taking it. Yeah, this is the Bush play. Oh my goodness, that was stolen with a sapling. There was a sapling Baron steal. Calvert smited it at 1400 HP. And a sapling has just stolen the Baron. That's heartbreaking because it was a genius play. Bush loves to do this on the Zyra. You seed up the Baron for a minute. You see him sort of lingering around. Then he spawns all the plants, ults them, and they auto really quick. But man, just an unfortunate mistake by Calvert, smiting a little too early. And it means Rick with the best sapling of his life. That is wild.
I'm almost positive that was just a sapling for vision too.
Yeah, he was literally just throwing one over. I think Calvert maybe panicked.
What a good thought from Snack, but yeah,
wow.
I mean, godlike
It's
steal,
such a good
godlike
play.
luck from the other side. I mean, if
That
that was
is
on purpose, like props
heartbreaking.
to you, I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but I'm pretty sure they did not have vision there.
That is unbelievably lucky. Like that is well played by Rick, I guess, but that is unbelievable luck. And now with that luck, they're at a slight gold lead here, completely, effectively an even game state.
This is what I want for my game 3s, baby.
Holy crap. That looked like the play that would seal it for Snack, and instead it ends in unbelievable heartbreak for them, and a Baron buff for BMS on the flip side.
Why does Ashe have double crit cloak? Is there something I'm missing?
So, I think Ginsu's is converting that into on-hit damage. So, it's...
Yeah,
it's
but like, is that
play?
the most efficient way to do it?
I've not seen it, but it could be a thing.
I mean, it could be, but also it's speedy, so it's possible it's not.
Yeah, no, that's super true too. I've honestly got no idea. I've not seen anyone do this, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. Like,
Sure. Also, analysts in the chat have confirmed that Radiant Virtue does not have diminishing value.
cool. So you can build 2. You can build 3 if you want.
Build 5, who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe don't.
Probably don't do that. But, you know, Mythics completed all across the board. A couple items here coming online, and yeah, 3 items on Control is a big breakpoint I want to kind of highlight. Like, this Tristana is a bona fide second carry threat from BMS, and it means a lot for his team. Music also, with 2 items spiking pretty hard, is going to be much more effective in these group team fights. Need to see Blood when he is grouping up. Look for a flank and try to set up that way. Otherwise, Gwen is just shooting that ultimate into your entire team and can just do too much damage. Rick
Absolutely.
throwing his saplings, which are apparently blessed by Jesus Christ, out as he is able to find an engage onto Calvert here. Braum passive stacking, actually. Calvert is at some risk. He's dropping pretty low. Here comes the Maokai ult over the top.
Who hit that blast cone?
Zyra ult just to try to save him, but yes, someone betrayed him here. Luciv maybe caught out a little bit, and you can see a full engage here through the choke. Is it okay? Sandy's pushed out, but Blood on the flip side just straight up kills Speedy Bandito, and it does mean 1 kill so far, and they're retreating BMS, and the side of Snack
Get in
is
there,
not
get in there.
done.
Don't let him take it.
Oh my goodness, they just blast planted right into the pit. Blood is ticking pretty low. Music tries to trade back, but he's just too tanky. Is going to drop also to Sandy. Kill over to Luciv as well on Microscopic Rick, and this is a disastrous outcome for BMS. It is going to mean 3rd Drake Infernal and a team fight win for
Obviously,
Snack.
very well fought, like way to drag that out from Team Snack, but that's just an overchase onto the Sejuani. Like, that's not the pick you think it is.
You also,
I mean, with her Iceborne armor or whatever it's called, like her passive, that's essentially like another aftershock. Like, it's so much.
Well, you just can't chase into a choke versus an Azir like that. Like, Azir was able to back
Zyra,
up, and Blood, shout out Blood. Blood really
Great
turned the
TP.
tables on that. Beautiful TP, nasty flank, immediately picking people off. I don't know what Tristana's doing right now. I don't know if that was just taking wolves. I mean, I guess there's no way you're defending it anyway, but... I mean, wasn't
Not taking wolves, because unless they're on a much shorter respawn timer than I thought.
I don't know what Jacob's doing here, but it's interesting. He is going to just apply some pressure. Backs actually haven't come through, but he can't know that, so he's just going to turn and leave the jungle right now. Still, you know, fine way to use it. I honestly don't hate it. There's probably nothing he can do defending the base, so taking all these things away from the enemy team is still additive by him. And yeah, just, wow. This game is just completely back and forth, right? Like, one throw, or like throw-ish / miracle by divine intervention on behalf of EMS and Tiny Rick's sapling from heaven, and then on the flip side you got a team fight, maybe overchase from them means a comeback here for Snack. Man, these team names are hard to remember sometimes, but I do love saying Snack.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is neck and neck as we go here. Slight gold lead after that team fight, and the dragon does put Snack at the soul point, which is going to be very critical. Unlike the first 2 games where we saw the Chemtech Drake, we have the Infernal this time, and obviously, like, people have preferences, but also people like to do damage, you know.
Yeah.
Some things are less apparent than others. Joel always likes to bring up that, like, Windrake has the highest win rate in terms of all of the souls, but I think Infernal's the most fun. I think he might have misclicked his buttons there, but heck of an ego play. And I agree, if that was Abarn, we would have said Abarn bad, but we have faith in Sandy as a player, so it's just, you know, he had some ulterior motive there.
At least make him say it in our ears before you call it out.
Nah, I gotta preempt it so he doesn't have to do it.
Yeah, fair. As we see
Arrow coming in.
Jumping in, solo kills Luciv, shows him who's the real AD carry player, and Blood is completely caught out too. Gets a nasty heal, but it is just a double kill to the Tristana. Control is well and truly online. This should mean a Baron attempt here. Gotta say, this is not a given. You can see Sandy has decided to just straight up push into the bot lane. I think that's Gwen is basing to match him, but it's not going to be... Oh, that was Braum actually channeling.
It's cancelled by the Zyra.
Yeah, it's canceled either way. This does mean Baron goes down here. They need to find reset off the rip. Sandy,
I don't like that TP by Sandy. I don't like that at all.
That's a weird one. If he can find a nasty scoop here, he can probably still carry this.
Scoop's still... Oh, it's back up. Never mind.
Control has reset already, so he's catching the minions in the base, but yeah, nothing to be found, and now you're chasing in the jungle into a Maokai. Probably not where you want to be, and Jacob is porting back out. Control, the Tristana porting to a ward in the topside jungle. They're going to look to chase this as they have the stun down onto Sandy and a twisted advance into a knockback on Calvert. Bush League is completely caught out.
4 autos from Control. With
by Control. Control is gigantic. And with the Baron and an extra kill now to boot, they can reset to their base pretty darn happy. A 2,000 gold lead so far, as we see Sandy trying to do something about it. Able to actually get a huge shutdown under control. Absolute greed out of him.
I was
Stayed
so
way
ready
too
there
long.
to start talking about how this was like Control's game to just run away with at this point.
Yeah. Just
And I was also gonna flame the other team for like chasing so hard and just hanging around. I guess yeah, just take this free gold on the map real quick, just get out of there. But I mean, they lost the Baron. They got a couple of kills. They traded one back. I don't know, man. It's scrappy to the end, as TCL always is.
yeah, just I think a little overzealous by Control trying to stay.
Oh,
and
is
get
Blood
that
gonna get
wave.
picked here? His entire team is backing.
Blood taking damage, but
That's
once again
not a
there
real turret, Blood.
isn't a Zir turret there. Crazy that I don't think the members of BMS can see them the way they play into them, but that is just my heart racing, and you know, no real result there. But we got a fight here. This would be Soul for Team Snack, so probably have to see BMS look to contest this. I don't actually know if Music can really match Blood in the side lane, but probably a winning deal for you if you can keep the two there.
They do both have TP.
You can see Blood already moving back, so he knows exactly what he wants. Yeah, already channeling his teleport in. The ultimate comes through. This Drake is already half HP. It is going to be a smite fight to the end. It is won by Sandy of all people, and that is going to be an Infernal Soul for Team Snack. But will they win the fight in response? Elusive is chunked very low. Zony's coming out from Jazz Music on the flip side. And we see that Sandy potentially caught by a Twisted Advance. Speedy gets a kill on the Bloodbath and Beyond, paying him back for that time he chased him all around the world last game. Sandy with one of the smarter plays we've seen so far to cut this wave. Genius play by him, because there may have been some retaliation there.
You're giving him a lot of credit right now, and I think he realized it on the way that that's what he should do, but that was his only path to run away.
100%, but then making the decision when you're there to say, okay, I'm going to cut that wave, very freaking smart, because it stopped a lot of retaliation, and now you've walked away. Yeah, you lost one. You got the soul. That's the prize. Is Infernal Soul a win con in this game? No way. Not at all. But is it a huge edge for you as you advance into these fights? It's a permanent scaling edge is how I look at it, right? Like it's permanently a buff. You can't lose
stats are great. Stats that don't go away, even better.
You gotta love it, right? So that's where
I learned
we're
that
at there.
from TFT.
Yeah, sure. and you know, they feel
You gotta
great
take those combat dogs.
for having this. Yeah, their combat augments are all here, and I have no idea. Yeah, Bush.
That's an
is-
excellent question.
little
In our
far behind
ears, the musing was Bush League, the Desire
support-
Extraordinaire, is at
it
a
supports-
single item.
Supports her on welfare. You
30
try to play
premiums.
like Zyra or something like that has to build real
I mean, that's a good.
items.
We talked about expensiveness of items a couple
It's
times, right?
pain.
I mean, they both went for an expensive first item for their Radiance, but then Braum went into the Knight's Vow. He also has an extra 600 gold. Yep, that's how that works.
Bush is yeah. Bush
Just
is
a
cool.
lot more gold on the mid
we just,
laner than
like,
the support,
shaming
as you'd
Bush?
expect.
Bush
Are they
has more
pushing
money
into
than
Baron
all
right now? I think
realize.
they are, right?
Doesn't matter.
Or is Baron out? I don't know.
Yeah,
what I'm
Baron.
talking about.
Baron is expired, but yeah, they are just gonna group down mid. Don't love this, but you can see Blood is split in the side lane, creating pressure on that open inhib lane. I don't think anyone can really match him without the protection of the turret there.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like Gwen with the Ignite at this point
Yeah, it's hard to
can
tell,
do just
actually.
fine. Because the thing we saw about Renekton in that dragon fight is he's got a lot of health, but he doesn't have the tank stats. A lot of his survivability in fights comes from getting those big Gore Drinker clocks, right? Those big Qs. When he's kited out, he is not nearly as
hold
durable
on.
as you want him to be.
We have the Maokai ult coming out here. Gwen ult over the top as well was blown there. Yeah, not a ton. Oh, actually, a huge amount of damage
Yeah,
there back.
like that last one hit 3 people.
Good
Guys
damage.
just stacked for him.
Yeah, they
There
wanted to
wasn't
make-
value, and then they gave him value.
Yeah, they said, you know what, here, we'll give you some. Hope you feel good about using that ult. So, you know, just chunked out HP bars, but are going to continue the siege. The power of this Azir passive and the turret is really able to prolong some of these sieges, but it can make you feel a little bit too safe sometimes, and they are getting pretty darn low. Got to be careful for an engage here out of BMS, but so far nothing. Just
Yeah, I don't see how this breaks out, because a dive would be disastrous. Your turret's gone. I think they need to leave.
Yeah, oh my goodness, Sandy just half-health music and is doing some pretty big damage to Irep as well. There's this Juani ult goes
How'd
a
that
little
not
wide, but Radiant ult will top everyone off.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
Just healing everybody to full real quick.
killed everyone. Yeah, he's just using it like Sirach ult or something. Just all right. We don't need the glacial
That's
thing,
nuts.
but let's just heal our team instead. But yeah, so that means the siege continues. I don't love this. I think just back for Baron, and I think that's what they'll maybe start to do here. I think
I
this
think
is
they want to fade to Baron, which isn't.
yeah. I just think this is the only way you can lose this game. If you get caught here, they kill you. They take Baron.
Don't dive. I agree. I think they should have backed a little bit sooner, but I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, so flip side here is now they're walking through. They know there's probably not a ton of vision, but they don't actually have their own vision on Baron. You can see they're a little bit caught for it. Calvert is the recipient of 2 of the stuns. He's probably not the target you want to see. Luciv is pretty chunked out. Luciv is actually just straight up killed by Control, but Sandy's right on top of him trying to trade back. He is able to trade one back onto Ira, but immediately has to go golden. This could actually be a team fight win. He does drop, and that's 2 dead members on the backside there. 4 dead members total for Team Snack for 2 on BMS's side. That should mean Baron, and yeah, just disastrous for them. Felt like they were about to win this game, and just critical mistake.
I mean, I think the mistake there was like they set up the death bush, but they set up the death bush.
Oh,
Did Bush just? Yeah, he
Bush
did.
just got that. Yeah, huge play from him. Not able to finish out another kill, but
Don't think
really
it delays the
well done
Baron
by him.
either. But I mean, got the shutdown on the Ashe.
It does a little bit, and you know what? It almost mattered. And Music, you gotta be careful, bro, because if you die here, this is really bad. Music, you take aggro from Music. What? You take Oh my God, that's
There was a
when.
plant right there.
Not only that, you can see you've been hit by the Baron. It stopped your back once. He didn't even move.
No, I mean we all saw those 3 little bubbles.
Oh my God! All right.
Oh, okay.
That was one heck of a,
Okay.
moment right there. But actually, it took so long because of that IREP got the Baron. So maybe he's doing it for his team. But yeah, Baron buff going over to the side.
At the end of
BMS.
that was a 4 for 4 or 4 for 5, by the way.
Oh, that actually matters immensely though. This is
yeah,
Elder
the back
right
timers
now,
are really
and
weird.
there is no Gwen for Elder Drake now. So
That's true. That's true.
And that matters
is potentially
immensely.
game
They have to give this, I think, unless
Control needs to kill everything.
They will not give this. They should give this.
Control can just kill everything. That's their only option.
They need a steal first of all. If they lose this and are still in range for a
gone.
fight, they could lose the game. And yeah, Elder Drake is going over to the side of
Cal, pull the
Snap.
trigger. Cal, just pull the trigger.
Yeah, if you can find a fight here, you probably win the game, but even still, so Baron traded for Elder. Critical mistake by Music, probably just cost his team the Elder. But
Almost without a doubt. Yeah.
yeah, trade of those objectives, still not the worst thing. It means you'll have pressure with the wave. You just really got to avoid a fight at all costs in the Elder. We've talked about it already, so you know, beating a dead horse, but it's pretty darn impossible to win a fight into Elder. Very few of those are going to go your way.
They're going to get the double inhib. Nice. Into the Baron push. What is the duration difference between Elder and Baron? Is it substantial? Is it the same?
I think Elder is slightly shorter.
That's what I thought. I just don't have any stats to back that up.
In this case, Baron was taken so much in advance of Elder that I think Elder should still outlast the Baron, but not probably by a ton.
They're looking to just get the triple inhib.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's basically impossible for BMS to fight into this Elder buff, right? Like, it's also the other thing with Elder is like this team has carries that apply it so darn well.
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely. I mean, they have the
Zyra,
double burn. They have the
Azir.
armies we talked about.
yeah, Zyra, Azir, and Sivir are putting that Elder burn on everyone.
Yeah,
So
dude.
it's just a crazy buff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're pushing here. This wave's going to drive real quick to the wave clear on the other side. So,
Yeah, Gwenalt just to hold.
is this a situation where you can feel comfortable diving? I don't know. I like to dive, but I also die a lot, so.
Can we see the duration on the Elder buff maybe real quick if we have a second production?
Is that possible?
A quarter left. Yeah, a quarter of the way left. This is going to be kind of a make or break moment here.
I mean, I think they just go for the turret. Just hit the turret, knock it down. There you go.
Yeah.
Base is cracked. Base is completely cracked now.
They've got to give this, and there is still going to be Elder buff duration here, so they are just going to heal up and maybe try to make their last stand. Got to think that there's going to be some kind of fight here.
I don't know. I think you can just back out and reset here. Elder's gone. You don't have the advantage you did.
Elder's
And
still
I guess
up.
there's really no
Still
Baron to
have
play for, so this might be just the opportunity.
They still have Elder here. It is about to fall off, but it's a burn, so it'll be there. Both inhib turrets are down. Elder should be just about
Control
to fall off.
jumped in.
Not quite. Control did jump in, but he does have the GA. Is he able to live? No. Blood immediately kills him. Speedy trying his hardest to trade back. Does find one onto Calvert, but immediately dropped
Sandy
by
Shook.
Prima shuffling in. Sandy Snake, and yeah, he is just too giant. And with this Elder, with this push, they're able to secure the game and
Sandy's
the series.
second quadra kill
Another
of the
quadra.
game.
Monster
Wow.
by him. Holy
Control
crap.
had the ball and just jumped in there, my guy.
Uh,
Insta stunned by Blood, blew up, GA popped, Blood just sat on his face and killed him again when he came out of it. That was a rough finish for the side of BMS, but honestly, a well fought victory for the side of Team Snack.
yeah, I mean, nothing to say. Just really well done by them. Honestly, it
Yeah, that's what I
ending-
expected. Sandy doubled up everybody's damage.
Yeah, Sandy just a monster in this game.
That's insanity. Also, where was Luciv's damage at?
Dude, I swear to God, Luciv thinks he's playing TFT. I mean, for the amount of crap this guy talks, you'd think he would do any damage in game, but out damaged by his support again.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Who
our
do we
favorite
like?
time.
Yeah. Who do we like?
So here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
Recency bias tells me Sandy, but consistency, it's got to be Calvert, right?
I felt really strongly that Calvert played.
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, we're on the
just
same
well
page here.
in the
Calvert
game.
MVP for week 1 game week 1 game 3
I'm good with
for the
that.
series. Calvert, how you doing, my guy?
Good, man. I'm just vibrating right now with so much energy and so much positivity.
No, you're not. You're lying.
No, honestly, our team was like, after that first loss, everybody was like quiet, and we're like, we got this, right? Like, what did we do game 1? And it was just kind of like game 2, we put our heads down, we just grinded it out. We took advantage of our lead. And then that game 3, man, I I almost paused the game after I missed that smite on Baron.
I was just gonna
I was
ask.
just like, guys, I was like, Bush. I was like, come over to Baron with me. We're gonna 2-man this, and everybody's gonna be shocked.
It was so close.
I lost it to
It
a
was
sapling.
so close.
I thought
Not
it
only
was
a
a flash
sapling, a
kid.
blind random let's get vision on this thing
Dude,
sapling.
I
Wild.
know.
The
And I was
sapling
like,
can
he's
have
gonna
him.
flash the pit. He's gonna smite, and I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna look like an
Nope.
idiot. And
Nope. Just a
I did
sapling.
it to myself. You know? So,
But let's focus on the positives here. Your early game presence, like all 3 games, exceptional.
Yeah, really
How you
well
vibing
done.
with your laners, man?
honestly, it's super easy when you have the 2 best solo laners on your team. So, shout out to everybody for, not drafting me and letting me go to a team with 2 absolute rocket launchers for laners with Blood and Sandy.
Yeah, then how do you explain Blood's game 1?
Blood, it was awesome because Blood humbled himself. He's like, you know what? I didn't respect music, as no one does. And then game 2 and 3, he's just like, you know what? I'm better than him. I'm just gonna play a champion I can bully him with, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah, absolutely agree with all that. How does it feel to just see your homework get completely stolen by the bot lane? I gotta ask about this. They just completely ripped off your bot. They said that beat us. That was pretty annoying. Let's just take it.
We actually have an entire playbook in our Discord, and it's pretty funny because I think we have like 3 pages or something, and we're like, okay, yeah, like let's run this, and then when they pick that, it's like, hey, don't worry, like we have the counter for that. Like, we wrote the plan. We know how to play against. And game
There you
3,
go.
the score really doesn't show, but like we felt in command that entire game.
Yeah.
You guys definitely had tempo. Like the gold
Yeah.
was even through like 28 minutes or something like that, like within like 2,000 back and forth. But the tempo is absolutely on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was cool too because Sandy was like, "Hey guys, like I'm gonna be useless for 10 minutes," and he honestly, he just put his head down, he farmed, he warded, he rotated when he needed to, and then the late game,
What a monster!
He would 2-shot people, and it's like, what have you become,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean he had double quadra kills over the course of that game.
Yeah, And honestly, like our bot lane played super well. You know, it's funny because like going into the draft, we didn't plan on Bush absorbing what was it, like 7 bans throughout the series. We were just like, oh yeah, they're gonna ban Blood, and then they're probably gonna try to pick something away from Sandy. And then like Bush drawing those 2 bans, we were just kind of like, we can do whatever we want.
Hmm.
Like we can play whatever we want. Everything is open. So
Yeah. I mean, honestly, great series. Went to 3 games, as did all of the other ones this week. Well done. Do you have anything else to say to the fans at home before we kick you back out of here and wrap it up for the night?
yeah, man. Really, I just shout out to my team. Like I said, I got the best mid laner, the best top laner, and my bot lane is just super strong. So
Bold
awesome to be on a
claims.
good
Bold
team.
claims.
Awesome to be in a role that I didn't get forced into, and that's my worst role. So, looking forward to a TCL season.
Well, hey, that's great to hear. Hopefully, it means we don't play any less double up. But one last congratulations to you and your team. Way to get that week 1 win. Now the pressure of, oh, wait, no, everyone makes playoffs. Okay,
Awesome.
get out of
Thanks,
here,
guys.
kid. Okay, Bully, do you have any last thoughts for the viewers at home?
No, I think they've heard enough of my voice tonight. Just thank you guys for an awesome game tonight, awesome series with all of you folks, and we can look forward to more of it. And this season's been a banger already. Three-game best of threes, and I'm sure we're gonna get another awesome round of games next week, starting on Sunday.
Absolutely. Have a great night, everyone.